damage from Nisha, but it looks like they can still kill him. Counter-raps come down from Yoku, though. Might just be enough to be able to get FN out. No, Nisha is able to bring him down with his blade. Now goes for Yoku up next. They see Nyx. He's going to pop his BKB invis. Please tell me they have some counter vision. Sees him for a second, thanks to the sentry drop, but they do not have anything else. So Nyx is going to be able to get out. Kinguin managed to hold. They force a cheese. They take down the Aegis as well as the SF second life. And they don't lose any buildings for it.
Yeah, it's a very nice rotation, or move by them at bottom lane. Like, Nisha just goes in, he's like, okay, I'm done with getting the fight started by Batrider jumping me every time, or jumping one of us. Let's just go in. He immediately jumps on, kills a hero, then at that point, numbers advantage in their favor.
And death timers are long enough that you won't have a large opening here where Empire can go and force it while the Ravage is down. In fact, they may even try and fight this one out with the Clockwork going in. Instantly dies to Nyx, though. They may still fight. They've got more reinforcements, but Ghostic, just one step ahead of the rest of Kinguin, is able to blink out.
Yeah, Rubik has Ags.
See if he can steal Gush.
He is always going to get Viper.
Yeah.
Like, Viper Strike Ags. It seems so stupid, but it's so annoying. It's so much damage.
And he's got an Ether Lens too, so it's really easy to just cast it from the back.
Yeah, the cast range is going to be absurd.
Gigantic. What's level 25 on Tiny? What's the talent? So I forgot. Multiple tosses, right? That's one of them. And Avalanche cooldown. Which one do you like?
I like the Avalanche so that you can juggle people. Then you get a refresher.
You mean the multiple tosses?
Yeah. So you take that, and then you get a refresher, and then you get the refresher shard, and someone's just like permanently. Yeah. Some real Ringling Brothers shit.
20k gold lead. Double the kills. Empire seem to be in full control of this game. They've got 2 lanes of racks, but they are struggling a bit to be able to close it out entirely. Kinguin holding on to that one last lane, and really, the next push should be even easier. No Aegis, no cheese. But all this time, he does go to the toss charges. All this time, it's like, I just don't see how Kinguin's heroes are going to be able to utilize this time to scale some more.
They're just waiting for Empire to like overcommit for a fight or something.
Yeah.
At that point, that's really all you can do when you're 2 racks down. And you don't have these heroes that can easily shove out waves.
At least the SF is pretty much topped off. Can change out his SY, get a Moon Shard, pick up an MKB maybe.
This is the downside when Jug's like your
single core.
Yeah, like the game where Mineski was able to do it, they had Gyro and OD. And they had Omni Knight. So that's like a very strong tri-core. But in this game, it's like you've got an underfarmed Tidehunter, a Viper.
It doesn't really scale.
So if you just lock down the Jug, like you're golden.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. That's all their damage.
That's when you really like playing Batrider. It's when you just have to focus on getting 1 core.
Yeah. Do you think that's why we don't see Batrider be the highest tier? It's because there's so many duo or tri-core lineups?
Yeah, when you see people play Batrider against, like, for example, Liquid, where they always pick this, like, greedy tri-core, it's like, well, who do you lasso?
Yeah.
I remember like one specific game, they had like Razor, but then they also took like DK and I can't remember what the last hero was, like Terrorblade or something. They just ran. It's a very farm tiny though at this point.
Yeah, he's trying to pick up a Daedalus now.
Empire don't want to repeat the mistakes that, funny enough, Kinguin made.
Yeah. Ooh, Kinguin are actually pushing out here. Smoked up. They are going to go for Nyx here. Ravage just straight up. BKB now activated by Nyx, but they got the Omni Slash on top of him. It's not going to be enough by itself, but they will manage to slow him down. Jeez, that Omni Slash lasts forever. He's got the maxed out Omni Slash. Looks like they're going to try and go for more here. Pasto's trying to slow down Miposhka. But it looks like it's just going to be a one-off. 90 seconds, no buyback. But at the same time, no Omni Slash and no Ravage. So I'm not sure how much Kinguin's going to be able to do with this opportunity.
Yeah, he's got the +5 Omni talent. He pretty much won forever. And he's got a Lincoln's, by the way, to deal with the Batrider. That was weird. He broke the smoke, had some time to get the BKB off.
He probably just anticipated. No way that
bottom.
ravaged me. He does get out the spin off, but at the same time, the physical damage from FN is just far too much. This is the power of that physical damage build for the SF. Fortunately, Exotic Deer, there was no interrupt there, so he was able to just BKB teleport out. And Empire may just go high ground with the Jug dead. They may not have their Tiny, but FN is surely enough.
He's got buyback, though.
Yeah. See if they can force the buyback.
The golden border is there.
Tiny's up in 20 seconds. Does Tiny have boots? Boots to travel? No.
No. Remember, he was saving for...
Yeah. So if they want to wait for him, it's going to take a little bit. Oh, double Siege Wagons too.
Ghost 6 Fireflight up.
He's got Lasso, back up again. All he needs to do is grab Exotic Deer. Really, anybody. Katsura is going to try and push him back. Telekinesis stops him before he can go for the Cox play, but at the same time, he does manage to find his Lasso initiation. Buyback is there. BKB activated. He's going to go for the Omni Slash on FN.
Only hitting
He's away from all of his allies. He only has the Omni Slash on him, and it is going to be enough to bring him down. Nisha looks for more. Goes for the spin out. Ghostic blinks on top of him, preventing a blink away. He has Yule Scepter. Can he get the blink off? Looks like the Nether Tox is going to stop him here, and he will be brought low. 2 down from Empire now, but it costs him the buyback, as well as the Omni Slash from our Juggernaut. And they still have lanes to deal with.
What did the Rubik steal, by the way? Did he get the ulti? Nah,
No,
it was close. If he could have gotten the Ags ult.
Not really that good.
It's pretty hype. He's really farmed. He's got an Octarine queued up.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Had to force another buyback, though, on the Jug. That was a sick team fight, though. It's whenever Nisha gets these isolated ults, can bring down a core just by himself.
Yeah. Seems like with that 25 talent, he can even bring down the Tiny with the Omni Slash. Which is pretty crazy considering how tanky this Tiny is. Nisha's jumping forward, hoping to be able to find somebody to catch. They're trying to force things right now because they've got 20 seconds left on the death timer of the SF. Be a huge win if they can either force an objective or take out a buyback from one of these.
Yeah, Pipe is popped. Nisha just frontlining for them. This is the awkward spot now where you don't want to buyback if you're Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
Because you're just about to respawn. But that works out in favor, as he doesn't have to waste that. And there's no need for him to.
Roshan timer. It's going to be our next objective, I presume.
The double Ravage would be very useful. As Empire immediately smoke up. They don't have souls, though, right? On the Shadow Fiend, he just respawned. He's only got 18. They're still going to go for it, though. They think that there might be a shot that they're roshing.
Yeah. And Roshan, a late spawn here. So instead, is Empire going to try to utilize this smoke, go for a pick-off? They're just going to control the field and wait for Roshan.
I think you just control the field and wait for Roshan. Going high ground is very scary. But there's no refresher orb on Jug or anything like that, so if he Omni Slashes you, you just tank it, go through the Aegis, pop your BKB after, come back into the fight, and you should win the fight at that point. When you have these like giant ults, like these giant single target ults, it's very nice to play with an Aegis.
Well, that certainly gets FN back to full souls. Looks like he's going to go for a Satanic. See if he can maybe survive through the Omni Slash. They are going to be able to grab Katsura here. Free pick off, costing them the lasso. But that's very little.
He died very quickly.
Yeah.
Now you go back for the Rosh. And if Clock buys back, then you know that they're going to contest it. And you can reposition yourself. And if he doesn't, it's a free Roshan.
Yeah.
It's the benefit of just getting one of those one-offs.
He does not have buybacks, so Kinguin Look at him. He even have the supports play super far forward just to make sure that if Kinguin do want to go for the contest here, they try and blink forward, but counter blinks from Empire keep them at a safe pace. Kinguin still trying to find this one. Elisash managed to get the initiation. Nyx tries to go for Nisha. Actually, toss Exotic Deer already down to half HP. Forced to pop his BKB while Elisash doesn't manage to get out. Unfortunately, his TP canceled by the toss. Omni Slash, though, stays on the SF. Now bounces over Nyx. He's down at half HP. With the healing ward out, these cores are going to stay alive. There's not much Empire can do. Full retreat out now. Kinguin take a 4 versus 5 and are winning it with 2 cores down, but they have to defend the base. Patos has to go back with a big wave pushing in onto the throne, and no tier 4s left. His team is going to have to try and do Roshan with just the 2 cores inside the pit.
And Ghost Stick, it looks like he wants to go for this.
Oh, man, to get the lasso, pulls into Yoku, but they still manage to... Oh, jump in from Yoku. Did he manage to grab anything? Yoku, he grabbed the refresher shard as well as the cheese. That is worth his life. They had to keep that refresher shard out of the hands of the Tidehunter.
Very well done. I think that death is well worth it for Yoku. You give up a K, but you keep the refresher shard, like you said, out of the hands. Even out of the hands of the Jug.
Yeah, Jug Omni Slash as well. Devastating these team fights. I am astounded at how strong this hero is in the late game.
His ability to just blow one hero up is kind of absurd right now.
Yeah.
Like, they pop BKBs, it's like, fine with me, don't care, doesn't affect me at all.
Every single time I'm like, no, there's no way the Tiny dies to it. You know,
they just die.
It just doesn't stop.
And now they're going to go for the high ground, and this is an awkward spot where you're not sure if you want to buy back if you're anybody from Empire.
For me, I'm saying no buybacks. You got a tier 2 at top lane. Okay, maybe you should get the right kind of initiation here. That is not the hook shot that you wanted. With the toss up in the air, that is a Jug and a Clockwork dead. No buyback from the Jug and a pullback. BKB going to be popped. Exotic Deer, as long as... Oh, he doesn't have TP.
He doesn't have TP. They're going to chase him.
They're going to spot him off the tier 2. He's not getting out. He has an Aegis. Maybe he can take Yoku with him. Slowly but surely, the poison damage. Yoku is going to be able to get out. What is this dropped item? Nyx just taunting it. I like that.
Yeah. And he just go down. That was costly. You can't go in that far. They anticipated with 30 seconds left that nobody from Empire would buy back, but still, that's way too deep. Like, nobody on their team could really follow up, and Viper immediately buys back, which is the right thing to do. Refresh it as fast as you can. You know you have to do it anyways. Get the buyback cooldown going. And now this is a weird situation for both teams as...
Oh, no. Okay, he's got buyback. Clockwork's about to come back up, but again, their big damage dealer is the Juggernaut. They don't have that, nor do they have tier 4s to be able to protect the throne. Blake forward is going to try and jump in and get the Ravage out. They already have the control up on the SF. They need to be able to finish him. That is a huge kill, but a BKB already goes down with that ultimate. Now the jump forward by Elisash managed to get a Ravage down as well with the Bat Rider sitting on top of the Viper. They're going to be able to get that lasso with the physical damage. They'll bring him down with both the damage dealer set and all of Kinguin out. It is going to be Empire finally able to finish up this game 1. A few bumps in the road, but they finally do get there.
That was a wild game. It felt like for a bit both teams were just like, nope, you take this one. I think that Bat Rider, by the way, got the double ult. I think he was giving the refresher, yeah. That's why that stuff matters. Imagine if they have the cheese and the refresher on the Tide. Like, they can hold that fight. That is very unfortunate. And that decision to go in so deep, you have to anticipate. If you go that far in and you know that the Jug doesn't have buyback, they will commit for that. Kill the Jug once and end the game.
Yeah.
And the Tidehunter was way too far forward. He knows that they're 5-manning down there. That's their only play at that point because the Jug's dead. Yes, you have buyback at that point, but do you really want to use it like that?
And the funny part is this morning I ran into Swindles and Kotsor in the elevator, and they were talking about the game that they lost, where they had Mega Creeps and they threw the game, and Kotsor was saying, like, hey, like we all kind of knew like what we screwed up in that late game. Think we're going to be able to fix it. Here's another late game situation where Kinguin definitely made some mistakes and were unable to pull through in a comeback.
Yeah. It's disappointing because they worked so hard for that one.
Yeah.
Like, they made a lot of great plays to be able to do that.
They should not have been in the position where they could have won that game.
And they were.
60 minutes.
And they're still... And to lose like that, I think, is the worst feeling for a Dota player.
Yeah.
Where just, like, you don't even get to get in a fight. You just kind of get picked off, and it's like, well, I guess the game's over now.
Yeah. You think they can bounce back?
Oh,
for sure. There's 2 late game scenarios where they've lost.
Yeah. I think this was more draft related.
I'm waiting on... I'm trying to stretch out for you guys to sit down on the panel.
Just immediately throw it before he's ready.
All right, we're going to go to the panel. See you guys later.
Thank you very much, Blitz and Capitalists. Indeed, we were patiently waiting for them to be done with their post-game analysis, and now it's our turn to get some post-game analysis in, because it was Empire that takes the win in the end, but it didn't look as convincing as as it did at the start. Let's just go all the way back, Lumi. At the start of this game, Empire looked real good.
Yes, the mid lane matchup went for the Shadow Fiend,
Yeah.
which it's easier said than done because Viper has a natural edge, but I think he just got more help from his support. The Rubik was constantly there, and that kind of snowballed from there because throughout the mid game, when we saw Kinguin losing, the big issue there was you have all the control from the Ravage, you have the Clockwork, but there's actually just no damage. Viper wasn't hitting hard enough at that point, and you can't really control your Omni slash bounces apart from that one fight.
Yeah, that one fight was magical. I don't know how he did it.
Yeah.
I think the one of the reasons mid went so well as well is the Clockwork could do nothing.
Yes.
Like Will was saying, this is a bad Clockwork game. I have to agree. Like I play that hero a lot, and there are certain games you want to look for, and I'm sure in there that the only reason they took it was to deny the whole Shadow Fiend can farm cogs thing. Like that was it. And I don't think that was worth it. He couldn't do much at all compared to what you want as a clock. You know, you really want to be more of a nuisance, and he just couldn't get it going. There's too many ways to escape the cogs. You can lift people out. Batrider can fly out. Tyner can toss you out. You can get glimpsed out. It sucks. So it was a rough game for him. And like you said, they just didn't have the damage early on. Whereas you compare that with the burst of an SF and a Tiny, Batrider can grab someone, and in that lasso, you're going to get a kill. But then, as we entered the mid game, that was when things started to turn around for Kinguin.
Yeah, the Juggernaut basically, well, was the single core. I'm not really going to count the Viper there. He didn't really do enough for that. But the Juggernaut solo core, there was one fight where he got so lucky.
Yeah.
And I think that was the turning point of it all for Kinguin. Because they were on the back foot for most of it. And there was one fight where he omni-slashed the Shadow Fiend, and FN, I don't know, he had the worst luck.
I don't know
all
how that
the bounce
happens.
went
There
to
were
him.
plenty of dudes around him,
Yeah.
but every single bounce went on him. I don't know how that happens. I really don't. It's
I
just
think
one
they
of
still
those
lost the racks after that fight. And then when they start defending the bottom pushes, that's where
Yeah.
Juggernaut really came alive. And I think that's where the intention of the draft finally came through, where, okay, we throw in the Ravage, and we're going to kill everyone within the Ravage. They didn't have enough damage up until that point.
Yeah. And then they also had heroes like the Tiny and the SF couldn't necessarily blow up. They couldn't blow up the Tide or the Viper or the Jug consistently enough.
Yeah.
They were picking up the Clock and the Shadow Shamer, but they weren't getting one of those three big cores they needed to get. But in the end, they just got it. I mean, I just think Empire just stuck to their guns, didn't panic, and they managed to pick Kinguin off.
Yeah,
But
they knew that their team fights, the massive big 5-on-5 fights, if it was just on even ground, they knew they weren't going to win those. So they focused on the pickoffs and on making sure that
That was the slashes. That is insane.
Look at that. That's just
Every single
crazy.
one. Like, it wasn't even like a couple went somewhere. They're
No.
all on him.
All
That's
on him.
ridiculous.
I do think the game was winnable, or it was in a position that Kinguin could have won it
Oh, for
towards the
sure.
end.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree.
And then there was two pickoff back to back, right? Clockwork went up a hill, straight up died in 2 hits, and then
Yeah.
I think it was maybe
Maybe
Tide?
the Shaman or the Tide,
yeah,
yeah.
somebody just got caught out.
I think the
and-
bat played well, actually. There were times in the middle there when it was looking shaky. And was it Ghost Stick on the Batrider?
Yes.
Yes.
I think he played really well.
He carried the
got some-
game for the first
got
half
some
of it.
fantastic picks. I mean, there were moments like when he just killed that Clock where he just realized, I think I've got this guy. Just had enough task stacks on him, went and got him. It's those kind of plays that I think they can actually turn around aspects of the game that's what you need. You need someone to just pull those out of the bag. 47 kills they got in the end, Empire.
And also, I think Yoku on the Rubik made a
Yes.
game-saving play because he
Yes.
blinked in and took the cheese and refresher shard.
Yes, that was hype.
If Juggernaut had 2 Omni Slashes, I think they win that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or tied with 2 Ravages as well. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we know that Jug can single target old people in a crowd for some reason, so you don't want him to do it twice.
So I do think that this game was in a winnable position for Kinguin, and I think Cap was mentioning, that's yet another late game that was somewhat quote-unquote botch. I think this one not necessarily as egregious as a Mineski game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's got to feel bad because Kinguin keep getting themselves in these kind of positions.
It's experience. It has to be experience. It has to be. I mean, there is a discipline that comes with the late game where you know there's MVP ghosting.
Yeah, he
Absolutely.
only needs a blink dagger.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Never
And the
mind.
rest of it, with just a blink, he achieved so much.
Yeah.
64% kill participation. I mean, they needed to have. The bat was a great pick in this game because if you've got SF Tiny, you've got that great burst. What you don't want to have to do is a fight that's long and drawn out when there's a Jug and a Viper and a Tide. What you want to do is grab someone, kill them, and 5v4. Then you've got a much better chance.
Yeah.
And he did it. He did it perfectly. Well played. Well played.
Is it then just composure from Kinguin? Was like the draft was good? This was just outplayed.
No, I think the draft also had a little bit issues with. Okay, when you jump in with Tide, you want to kill people. They didn't have it for the first 40 minutes, right? So I felt like there was a little bit disconnect between the initiator as well as the rest of it.
Yeah.
If they had a Bat Rider instead, would you go for the single target and you just Omni Slash
Would've
that
been
one
better.
guy?
Yeah.
I felt it would have been a bit better. So I think the draft needed to shape up a little bit.
I think their clock as well just didn't get
Yeah.
anything going. It was a miserable game for him. If it had been someone else, they could have applied pressure in the lanes, but instead he just kind of walked around saying, please guys, I need XP, and I need to do something, and he just couldn't.
Yeah. He just slowed down the Tide Hunter even more.
A little bit, yeah. So I think that was another one of their issues. Don't worry so much about SF's going to get some cogs. It's like, come on, it's not worth picking a clock for, because at the moment, in that game, I think it was a bad one.
And before the game started, we talked about how fast Empire was expected to be playing. Do you feel like they played as fast as we were thinking? Was there something there that they could have done better? I know they won, but it was still not flawless by any means.
No, they seemed to play fast enough up until the point where it got difficult. And it was always going to get difficult with the Jug and the Tide, like Lumi said. So they did really well up to that point, and then suddenly it was like, actually, this is getting tricky.
Yeah.
And I think it took some great plays, like you said, the steals in the Roche pit and stuff, to just turn things around, and then some great picks from the Bat Rider. So a bit like the way Complexity kind of relied on Z-Freak, pulling out some god plays to sort of save them. I think Empire relied a little bit on a couple of great plays to sort of just turn it in their favor. But it was very close.
It was very close.
Yeah.
We are going to see a game 2 though, so it's up to Kinguin to try and force out that third game. Do you feel like they'll do it? I mean, we
They've
know
gotten so close.
we know
every
they
time.
have it in them,
Yeah.
and they've come so close.
Yeah, I think the problem is it's a gambler's fallacy to assume, well, they've come so close all these times, they're going to do it this time. I mean, they've already demonstrated that even when they come really close, they still can't quite get there. So I'm tempted to say I think Empire will do it. They outplayed them in some portions there, and I think that there's no reason to suspect Empire won't be able to do that again. So I'm going to say I think it's probably going to be a 2-0 in favor of Empire.
I agree. Earlier when we first started talking about this series, I was asking what kind of series would this one be, decided by draft or individual play, and that last game to me just said that the series is going to come down the stretch who has more experience. Because I feel like both teams make enough mistakes that the game is going to get more likely than not dragged out to the late game.
Yeah, there were definitely sloppiness for both sides.
both teams.
Yeah.
And I think Empire just have kind of older, more experienced players. They've been to more lands with their backs against the wall. So.
Well, you say that, but first of all, I think that this pro circuit, it's actually Kinguin that is ahead of that. But also, they are still playing with the stand-in. We must not forget that Nyx is not...
Nyx
is playing well. Dude.
Luckily, he's really good. So,
he is playing really well.
Yeah.
So what we know of Nyx is that he was a member of M19. He just got let go last Thursday from the roster. So he's a free agent right now. This might be something that Empire might be just, using this as a training ground, seeing if he's good enough to replace Silent. For all we know, though, Silent is still on the official roster, so... we don't know for sure, but what are we thinking so far then?
I think he's done really well. I think from his perspective, this is win-win. Even if Empire don't pick him up, he's put himself out there, and other teams will have seen this and said, you know what, this guy's good, we should get him. He doesn't bring any points with him, does he?
No, he doesn't.
So that's a downside on your resume, but I think he's a good player. So definitely worth looking at.
So what you're saying, they should probably look at Ramses and try to see.
I'm saying if there's points out there,
yeah.
You're going to look at two guys and go like, well, they're both pretty good, but this guy's got 1,000 points or whatever, so you'd probably go for the points. I mean, that's just the way the system works.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's
is.
fair, Sheeps, or that I like it, but just trying to be realistic.
All right. Well, so far indeed, Empire has been doing really well, and unfortunately for Kinguin, they haven't gotten a single win to their name just yet. Even though, again, that game against Mineski, they should have had it, and maybe this game also they were given a chance by Empire themselves, and they couldn't pull it through. Are we surprised to see that Kinguin hasn't gotten a single win here?
I think given how they've done, especially the Mineski game, I mean, that was mind-blowingly surprising. So they've got it in them. Like, you can tell that they got themselves into positions where you're like, all right, now it's actually their game and they can take this, but they just can't quite iron out the little misplays and errors and stuff that let teams back in, and that's exactly what happened.
Maybe we can iron out something, because...
Okay, is it my t-shirt? I ironed it.
No.
Okay.
Because also we've been saying like a lot of it is going to come down to draft, just to allow themselves a chance to set them up for success, basically. And that's something that we can actually talk about. We can't help them play better or maybe work out those kings in there. That's not possible. We have to make sure that they have maybe a better draft. So looking at the second game, I don't need to hear specific heroes because we can guess what we want, but I want to know what type of playstyle you think fits best for Kinguin that they could draft towards.
Okay, I want to preface this with a disclaimer because we're just kind of reading into them. We don't know if, for example, that Clockwork pick where we thought it was a deny pick, maybe they wanted a Clockwork.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, but
I don't think it's great. But
it also looked like they were denying picking. I think the most important thing for them, perhaps now going forward, is to pick the strategy that they want to play. Like, forget about denying hero. Just pick the 5 heroes you want to do your best strategy, instead of we could game the system by taking a hero that you perhaps want. Again, they might just want a Clockwork, and it was a bad Clockwork game, so it's hard to say. But I hope Kinguin just show us their best and not trying to do something sneaky or wonky.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's a good point. And we've seen a lot of the better teams who've done well. They pick 5 heroes that they really like to play, and they're like, this is our 5 heroes. Yeah. And we're going to play this, and yeah, you might pick this and that, but we're going to outplay you. Maybe that's a question of confidence, and maybe some teams think the only way we can beat them, or the only edge we've really got, is that we'll try and outdraft them. And a lot of captains, I mean, these captains obviously have confidence in their ability to draft. Yeah. Sometimes it might be a little misplaced, but it's good to have that confidence. And I think it definitely get a solid lineup. The thing that Kinguin seem to like is they like to have one really good solid carry, like a Lycan or a Jug or something like that. So definitely keep doing that, but maybe get there a little better. Have the better supports that make your carry farm a little faster and help them. Because that seemed to be the problem there, is the Jug didn't come online until they'd lost 2 lanes of racks. Yeah. Oh, what's up? It's the draft.
It's the draft. Let's see what we got going on here. We have a Tusk first phase ban. Again, Empire did that previous game as well. They banned out the Tusk, the Bane, and the Brewmaster. And hey, I like that ban. This Rubik still has 100% win rate.
Yeah.
And
he did great in that game as well.
Now finally respected as he should with the first phase ban.
Enchantress wisely banned. I reckon it'll be Bane. That seems to be a standard ban now.
Oh, it's a Lycan ban.
I think against Kinguin, that's a smart ban, actually. It's a hero they liked.
Bane and Brewmaster were first phase banned by Empire that were missed out at the moment, so they're still in if they want to have a go at that.
I mean, if Empire want to copy Newbie, they could just go Disrupt to Sand King.
Oh, they're going to pick up
first pick Brew. That
is, I think, Patos' most comfortable hero.
Yes.
He played a ton, has seen a ton of different matchup against him, and he does fine. So
Brewmaster has 100% win rate in the Shanghai so far.
He's a fantastic hero. I mean, I haven't seen him first picked, don't think yet. Actually, maybe we did. I can't remember, but he's a great pick.
Yeah, and there's rarely a game where it's like, oh, this is a bad Brewmaster game, like the bad Clockwork game that we just saw. He always does something. Like,
yeah. Good in lane. Hard to kill. His ult is fantastic. I think he's one of those heroes as well. He's got a great ult, but he's also useful around the ult. Like, it's not like it's only the ult. He still does damage. The mischance, the slow and everything. I think he's just a good all-round hero.
By the fact that Brewmaster's in the game, he also immediately says you can't pick a certain amount of heroes, or if you do, you need to get BKB. So it just poses a lot of issues for Team Empire already.
It's interesting they've gone SS Sand King rather than Disruptor Sand King, so now it's the Disruptor pickup for Kinguin. But I like the SS. I think it gives you good push, good control, especially against the Brewmaster if they can get him isolated, get him shackled and kill him before he gets his ult off. But it is a tricky one. Disruptor he's been a great hero so far in this tournament, I think. I mean, he's just a phenomenal team fighting hero as it is. On the front foot, as we've said before.
Which opening do you like best?
I like them both, honestly. I think Brewmaster Disruptor is very, very strong. But I like Shadow Shaman Sand King as well.
Yeah, a lot of control in both.
Yep.
A lot of fight potential in both.
The one thing that I want to echo from the last draft is Team Kinguin should worry about damage. Because Brewmaster, Disruptor, these are very strong utility picks. Absolutely no damage between them. So I don't want to see, like, you know, a solo last pick Juggernaut trying to...
That's their style, dude.
Yeah.
That's what they like to do. That's what, I mean, they've done that most of the time. Whereas you think about the damage you get out of a Shadow Shaman Sand King, that's a lot of burst. Tinkerban, definitely, against Nyx, demonstrated he's very, very good on that hero already in the tournament. And Lone Druid, we had a Lone Druid last time Kinguin played the semi-victory against Beneski. We'll call it a semi-victory because they had it and they lost
They had it.
I guess on that note, when you have a standing coming in and he's automatically forcing a ban every time,
that's a
like
good sign.
pretty good addition, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's now known for that hero. And
He's played one Tinker game, and every subsequent game there's a Tinker ban, so that's pretty value.
Oh, we
Omni
forgot
ban.
about Omni Knight.
I mean, Omni pick, sorry, yeah. I mean, he's just been banned so much. He's
Yeah.
like, whew, finally get a game.
That means that Sand King is going to be the 4 position Sand King?
Yes.
I mean, I think the Razor ban as well from Kinguin made Empire think they're going to pick Omni, so we'll pick Omni. But I don't know how they would have run it. As
The
a,
Omni
I
had-
guess as a 4 Omni? I don't know. You get offlane Omni?
Yeah, just offlane with Sand King.
Right, but I'm saying I don't know how Kinguin would have run it. Because it's probably going to be like offlane Brew, right?
I don't know if Kinguin was gonna. I mean, they would like an Omni, but I'm not sure if they had a lane for him.
Yeah.
But
just
Sand King
wondering
Omni is a pretty strong combination
Burrow
together.
Purification.
Burrow Purification, good lane, but also you could just put a repel on him early on. You could burrow in an epicenter. Like
Yeah,
normally
true.
you have to get the blink dagger and all that jazz, but
Also, you can repel the Shadow Shaman for the long shackle,
Sure.
and that's gonna. Yeah, that's a good combo actually. Good point, Lumi.
thank you. Appreciate that. So now we get this mini game of like we need to find the Omni. The Static Storm also gets much weaker with Omni Knight on the field.
Yeah.
You can just repel whoever that's inside, and they get to do stuff.
Yep, a good pick.
A lot of
So-
vision now on the side of Kinguin already.
Yeah. I mean, you've got the Night Stalker, of course. You've got the Disruptor, can put down the static field and gets vision with that. Can you, when someone's being spun in the air by Brew, can you repel it off them?
I don't think so. I don't
Undispelled.
think you could target.
Can
But
you
I'm not
click on their
100
portrait
No,
or
you,
something?
you cannot target someone that's up in the air. Not with the repel or...
Yeah, you could target it with other things. Like there are rumors that you could like purge off the Cyclone itself with different spells, but not with repel.
Gyro?
I feel like Kinguin is kind of lacking some tower push. They can get some ganks so far, they can get some kills, but they can't really translate that into map control with towers going down.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's why the Lycan and the Lone Druid bans
Yeah.
might force something out of Kinguin here to respond to that. I don't know, maybe, what could you fit?
Would you go for a Juggernaut again? Because with the healing ward, he actually is kind of decent at sieging a tower.
Yeah.
Juggernaut used to be considered as an O counter to Gyrocopter, where Gyro wants to get up close with Rocket Barrage, but Juggernaut says, "Yeah, I'll spin,
Yep,
I'll Omni
yeah,
slash
get
you."
close, baby. Yep, the ult spins. I think it's a decent idea. It would be 3 melee though
Yeah,
against Sand King Omni. Kind of dangerous.
you can always like pick up Medusa, for example. You know, if you want to just a hyper carry from the mid lane.
They
There was-
definitely don't mind having a proper late game carry and then just trying to bide their time until then. And I
Yeah.
feel like with Brew, Night Stalker, Disruptor, you could buy him enough time, certainly more effectively than the clock did, that's for sure. They're thinking hard.
They are.
Some internal debate. Oh, so that lad that was sat behind us when we were slagging him off in the room there, he's with Team Kinguin.
Yeah, he was wearing a Team Kinguin shirt.
We weren't really slagging him off.
There's a
There's
Medusa.
Medusa. A proper late game hero.
Mid hero, in this context, I think.
Possibly, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Most likely going to be it. I think she's just much stronger mid because the ramp is very narrow, so Mystic Snake has a good chance of bouncing on
that's
heroes.
a good shout.
But not really great as a single core, so we need something that... I think Juggernaut would still fit really well with Kinguin.
It could. It
Yeah.
definitely could. They would be a little light on stuns if they went that route.
Sure. You'd rather see a Sven or
In fact, they
something?
wouldn't have any, so I think that's kind of dangerous.
I
But
think you
maybe
want
they're
a
thinking-
magical core because you don't want to give Omni Knight's ultimate too much value
Alright.
in this case. Although I'm not, off the top of my head, I can't think of any good magical core from the safe lane.
What would fit well with Empire? What are they lacking? I mean, obviously a mid laner, but what would do well against the Medusa for them? What's FN's hero here?
I don't know. I
It
wonder
com-
if they could play something like OD. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
too bad.
OD sounds amazing, actually. That's got my vote, OD.
It will be Empire that has last pick this time around, by the way.
Oswex Invoker, are we are we down for that?
I'd be surprised.
That man has a lot of bottles of water.
Viper Man. SF is still in the pool. But I'm not so sure. Kinguin could take SF, give them some nice damage. The armor reduction from him would be nice as well.
It really depends. Like, I wouldn't be opposed putting Medusa as safe lane and still
Sure.
go for something else. I mean, maybe even a Dragonite or something like that.
I mean, unfortunately, they don't have the final pick, so
Sure.
they have to pick their hero and make
Yeah,
the decision.
there's no curveballs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as long as they pick something that could go safe or mid, and then you can figure it out between the Medusa
Yeah.
and whatever your last pick is. But that's kind of tricky to do. I mean, if it's Medusa mid, OD's not bad. With Mystic Snakes, he can imprison himself to dodge them. That's something you can do.
Oh, I was not expecting that one.
not see that
Safe lane
coming.
profit.
First one of the tournament.
Or safe lane brew.
Or safe lane
off
brew.
lane profit.
Okay, either one.
Yeah.
I think profit is probably
Finally close out a late game
Finally.
scenario. That's it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be an over in 20 minutes game.
Okay.
But they need to get to that point and actually execute and close it out. And
They've
don't
got
panic
multiple
and-
options. They can split push with the Nature's Prophet. They can just
They've,
go.
they've left themselves
hard on
lots of
Medusa.
options. You're right.
Yeah.
But they need to actually execute one of them.
All right. And for Empire, Lumi.
keep track of that profit. I know it's hard to do because he could TP everywhere, but he's definitely the X factor for me in this draft. Could go a lot of direction. Orchid, Hex,
Yeah.
even Meteor Hammer. We've seen players done that in the past.
I-
But don't forget that there's going to be an early +1 in all of these
Yeah.
rotations. So
All right. Well, let's find out if it's going to be game 3 or if Empire can close it out in 2 games. It is over to Capitalist and Blitz for game 2.
A lot of question marks for this draft. We'll start with the Furion, picked up by Team Kinguin. Exotic Deer Furion. Kind of like a complexity style, looks like, with their 2-position player playing it. So maybe safe lane Furion, something like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
You like it? I mean, it's been a long time since we saw Furion.
I think it's really nice against Nature's Prophet. Or Shaman.
Okay.
I think it's really nice against Shaman.
Yeah, you just run treants against the Shaman. What's he going to do?
Shaman hates that. Because
Yeah.
he's very single target focused.
Right.
You don't want to Ether Shock a bunch of treants at level 1. That sounds miserable.
We're also going to talk about the fact that there is a Brewmaster, early pickup, and Team Empire drafted Omni and Phantom Lancer into it.
Yeah, 2 heroes that are fantastic for Brew to play against.
Can you explain why?
He throws Omni in the air, his Dispel gets rid of the GA, he gets rid of the, whatchamacallit.
An early gank is a great way to start things off.
Oh,
Kinguin Square up for that early first blood. FN is pretty fast, though. They have a Void coming up in a second, and the Treant block.
And the Dispel thing clears all the illusions instantly.
Really hard to play Phantom Lancer against the Storm Panda.
And the Haze is excellent against the Gyro as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of a sick brew game.
Is this why we just see Brewmaster banned out in the first 3?
Yeah.
So many of the meta heroes are countered by Brew.
Agreed. The best example of that was when I saw 2 Chinese teams play against each other. I think it was like Vici versus like Vici J or something. I can't remember. There's too many Vici teams. Although there's one less today. Poor Jack. There's not a lot of people watching this, Jack. It's all good. Nobody heard that. You're good.
But you were talking about the example.
They were against a TB and an Omni Knight, and they ran through that shit. The Brood destroyed them. They are aggroing, by the way, which I like. You should always aggro shamans. What can they do?
And Furion seems to be doing pretty well against the Omni Knight. The Purification is not enough to balance out the pure harassment value of Treants, as well as the right click. So, seems like that's going to be a fairly good matchup. I like aggro tri-lanes with Brewmaster as well. Hero just feels so strong in lane. Why not? Poshka. What are you doing there, buddy? Get a little bit too close. Going to be clapped on and brought down. It looked like he just AFK'd for a second.
Yeah, both heroes are kind of weak at this.
Yeah.
Both Disruptor and Shaman. So whoever gets aggroed usually has a rough time.
Looks like they're going to wrap around here, see if they can actually catch something in this bottom lane. Sand King does manage to get the Burst Strike onto Patos.
This is what you want, though. You want them to rotate over and then harass up the other lanes. This is something that they were missing in their previous game. Like, they weren't able to enable their offlaner.
Yeah.
Patos. That's why when you play support, you can't just be this passive guy that wards and just hopes to get carried. And you're like, why is my offlaner dying? Well, if he gets tri-laned, of course he's going to die. It's just natural.
Katsur now comes over, helps with the gank, going for Maposhka. Brewmaster does get stunned right before he can get off the clap. He's going to be able to get a good crit off there and gets another one on Yoku. Yoku's quite low, and it looks like they're going to be able to get him as well.
Yeah.
There's pretty much nothing that this Gyrocopter can do with Rocket Barrage when 3 heroes are running together. And they even have a Furion they can bring every once in a while, as they did with this last gank.
That's why I semi-disagreed with what the panel said at first, because they said, like, you don't want to aggro into a Gyro. But I think you do. Because if you split the Rocket Barrage damage, and he doesn't have, and he's forced to tri-lane at the same time, like, he's not going to have a lot of levels. And so his flat cannon's not going to do a lot. Like,
yeah, who cares if you do 30 damage to each hero?
Yeah.
It's nothing.
They can just tank that.
Yeah, a whole lot worse when you leave a Brewmaster alone against a Shadow Shaman who's going to shackle you, and then you take the full Rocket Barrage damage. That's the real threat.
Exactly. And that's why, in this game, like, you feel that the supports have a purpose, whereas in the previous game, if you don't enable your supports, like, in the draft or as cores, that's sort of on you as well. Like, that's why it's not entirely on the supports, it's not entirely on the cores. Like, it's a mix of both. Like, yes, Patos, he had a rough game, but like, what is he supposed to do? He's a Tidehunter against a lane that just continuously kills him, and he can't get help.
Missed Burrow Strike, and they're going to get Kinetic Field to be able to block him in with the clap there. They should be able to bring him down. Look at FN. He just can't get the damage directly onto any one of these heroes. Patos is tanky enough that he's actually going to be able to soak up a lot of it, but he separates from his allies, and that's where the Rocket Barrage is able to finally finish him off.
Bad move. Feel like he should have just ran upwards.
Yeah, just stick with his Shadow Shaman, or excuse me, his Disruptor, right?
Yeah, would have been fine. And in this mid lane, Nisha is doing excellent.
Yeah.
And this matchup, it kind of goes both ways, in the sense that when it goes later on, the Deuce will eventually scale up. Yeah. I think the game that I watched this matchup that was like super prevalent to it was Fnatic versus VP at the Summit, I believe.
Okay.
And Ramses was playing the Deuce. Abed was obviously the PL.
Yeah.
And they ended up winning with the Deuce, just because they were able to run at them.
Right.
And at that point, like, when the Deuce gets strong enough, she doesn't really care, because the PL has to engage her. And he needs a lot of items to fight.
I was thinking about this matchup. I think it might have been the Summit as well, but I think the Deuce is she's better than she was against PL because the Stone Gaze lasts longer. Yeah. So now, it used to be you would just doppelgang halfway through the Stone Gaze and you were kind of good, but it lasts so long now that you can't even rely on that doppelgang to be able to reset. They're going to find Nyx blow him up. Couldn't
And
even
a
get
bottom.
off the doppelganger, and they kill bottom lane at the same time. Looks like Maposhka got ran down.
Oh, he had no time to do anything there.
Empire just getting whomped here in this game. It's 7-1 already, 4.5 minutes in. Over 1,000 gold lead already for Kinguin. The only upside right now is that Omni Knight is still kind of free farming, even though he's not beating out the Furion despite the rotations. We haven't even gotten to nighttime where they found Maposhka again. They had the read on him. They're going to go for the dive here. Pato's going to lead the way, turns around, gets the shackle off, knowing that Maposhka is going to die here, just tries to buy enough time for FN to do something. He's trying to rocket barrage, but there are just treants taking up towers, taking up the rocket barrage. Looks like with the Omni Knight
Nice
here,
TP.
they can't actually get a kill. That's going to be on Patos. He turns and fights, knowing that there is no escape.
Yeah. You'd like to see Ghostic do that every time they dive.
Yeah.
That is the benefit of having an Omni on your team. But the annoying part about that is now he has to run all the way up top, whereas NP, of course, with his own TP, can just shrine up, TP up, waste no time, which is why Maposhka is the one going up there. But you notice Nature's Prophet, no investment at all, no
Yep.
problem. And I like that Kinguin are being a lot more dedicated towards their laning phase. Because last game they were not. They just assumed like, well, we have overwhelming team fight on them, and I mean, you win 1 or 2 team fights, that's nice, but like you can't sack your lanes that hard. You need a better balance than that. And this game they have a lot better balance. Their 2 supports have a purpose in this game. They get to get kills, they can roam, they can get levels. It finally feels like they can do something. Whereas it feels like Empire supports have to be very reactionary.
You look at here, he's got phase boots. He can actually get this kill on Yoku, especially since it's nighttime with the help of the Fury on Global. Now, FN is going to go on to Maposhka. Or excuse me, El Lisash brings him down, but he's in trouble. The TP coming in for the Furion, they're going to go for the dive here. Pato's going to try and cut him off. FN digs himself deeper into the trees. Patos, they finally find him, but Kator is actually in the wrong position. He's going to take the full amount of rocket barrage damage with all these TPs coming in. Patos has to give up on the chase. Kinguin get far too greedy.
They had to teleport everyone down, though. Like, if you keep up this consistent pressure, that means that your Deuce is not being touched at all.
Yeah.
Like, Nisha just gets to continue to have a free game. And this is the real threat. Who cares, at this point, what happens to this bottom lane? Like, Patos has done his job. They've completely ruined bottom lane. They forced a lot of heroes down here. If they get this kill on Maposhka...
Finally flying to reveal Maposhka. They are going to be able to bring him down. Yoku's here. See if he can land the Burrow Strike. Katsor is just going to run behind the tower, trying to stay ahead of the Sand King, but is going to be spotted out. FN throws down that ultimate just to make sure they get that kill.
Yeah. It's no problem, though. You force the Omni TP again.
It's kind of a win-win, right?
Yeah.
You just keep on running at them. You win the fight, fantastic. You don't, you're keeping pressure off the other lanes.
They lost their courier, too, a bit ago.
Wow.
Everything right now feels so rough. It's only 1k gold lead, though. It's alright. The Omni's still doing pretty decent. FN has been a beast in this bottom lane. Like, he's outplayed them consistently.
Yeah, and he's picked up a lot of CS despite the aggression so far. Mistle's going to come in. Patos drops a little bit lower, but not sure if they can really go for the kill. FN's going to try for it. The glimpse sent back, and he gets the kill.
Oh,
Wow.
Like the last tick of it.
Stop a TP? Nope. Probably going to kill Yoku, though. Oh, not. He has a full wand. A TP out. Furion makes
Very
close.
nice.
Wow. Damn.
Great
Empire, I mean, it's a real shit situation to be in right now. They're bottom lane, but they are, I think, making the most of it.
Yeah, they're salvaging like crazy right now. Like, their bottom lane. Their Shaman's got 500 net worth at 8 minutes. He's not clearing that 100 GPM mark.
They're going to go for a smoke up. Now the Gyrocopter's level 6. They got to get him out of that lane, out in the open. They're going to go for Exotic Deer here. Manage to get the missile on him. They'll stop the TP.
He is super dead. They're going to give FN the last hit. And correction, he's got 140 GPM. 150. 167 now after that kill. Hype. But if you look at the 2 supports on Kinguin, they're doing much better.
Yeah. At the same time, Kinguin is trying to take a tower. While that whole entire gank happened, they can still TP up if they want to try and save their own safe lane tower here. Or maybe wrap on mid or something.
I feel like they want to take mid next. I don't know if top's defendable anymore. I think you give up on that.
There's definitely an extra play to be made somewhere, but Kinguin isn't really doing it. All right, well, Furion's going to TP bottom. They're just going to start taking over that Radiant jungle.
He's very tanky at this point.
Yeah.
He went the drums build. They want to fight early. Yoku at bottom lane. Just stuns in. Get some creeps.
Both supports trying to give him levels. Sand King and Night Stalker don't want to be too starved at this point in the game.
A lot of Patos' good start, though. Starting to slow down quite a bit. Of course, at the same time, Nyx has had a very rough time in this mid lane. Looks like he's going to go for the Battle Fury, too.
Is that still the build?
I don't know.
I mean, against a Dusa, you'd think your Diffusal Blade wants to come online as quick as possible.
We were talking to somebody's coach yesterday, and we were being told, like, that... I can't remember.
Was it Heen?
Maybe. Saying, like, the item feels very slow, conceptually, for this hero. Because by the time you finish it, you want to be onto your next item already. So you finish your Battle Fury, and that's normally the timing you'd have Diffusal. And the weird thing about it on PL is, like, yeah, it helps you farm Ancients, but Diffusal's going to allow you to farm Ancients anyways.
Yeah. It's not going to speed up your farm time by that dramatic.
Yeah. So you probably want, like, a Manta as fast as possible against this NS and this Brew. But this game, like, he's going to delay it, get the Battle Fury. The argument for it, of course, is that you farm very fast. The HP regen and mana regen is very nice on PL.
Ancient clearing is a lot faster, etc., etc. But I see what you mean when it comes to the timings, especially when these PLs, they're ahead and they're with the Battle Fury. Everything seems kind of fine. But in this game, Nyx is definitely not having the best laning phase. He's already been ganked once. You could see how, if he does go for this Battle Fury, it just ends up interminably slowing him down over and over again. And
like, when do you expect to fight the Dusa?
Yeah.
At that point. I like this, though, FN being very active on the map. You know how much I like active carries?
Yep.
I feel like this is the way that you play carry at this point.
Especially carries who have had a rough laning phase.
Yeah. FN is going to try to compound this lead right now.
They're going to run into Patos. At the same time, they're going to go for the glimpse back onto... Oh, what? Static Storm. He actually held into the last second. Now managed to catch multiple heroes from the top. Coming in at the same time. But they've already got a lot of damage onto FN. He's going to focus on him first. Take out that carry. Yoku managed to get the stun onto the Night Stalker, so at least they can get that kill. Another stun. They desperately need to be able to bring down FN. He's so fast, but it looks like the Brewlings will finally get that kill. Patos back to his original form. Ghosting is here as well. They surround the Brewmaster. Should be able to bring him down. His allies are not close enough to be able to save a TP out. Patos, what?
Very well done.
All right, cool.
That was some sick ultis.
I mean, I thought
Disruptor ulti was
when
sick.
he glimpsed, I was like, oh, you lay down Static Storm, surely, instantly.
Yeah. Nah, he was patient with that.
Yep.
And at the same time, you saw the Panda didn't hesitate, split from the top so that they wouldn't see it coming. They barely get the kill on the Gyrocopter, though. That is the highest net worth hero for the Radiant side. And they might not even grab this mid tower here as...
Yoku silenced up, unable to get off the heel. Now Ghosting is quite low after that new come name from Exotic Deer. They could just right-click down the Omni Knight. Bad goes to worse as Empire push their luck and continue to try and push that mid-tier 1 tower. Now going to lose their own tower.
And that feels awkward. Like, you're making that play because they don't have 2 ultis, but they're still very strong on the Dire side, and they have nighttime. Like, Kinguin are going to take that engagement. That's their mid tower. No team usually just gives up their mid tower. And the reason why you don't make those risky plays is it's very easy for Nature's Prophet lineups to just do this and take the mid tower right back. This is going to open up the jungle area. They've already taken the bottom tier 1, so it's going to be impossible now to ward. Because if you think about the Radiant jungle, it's too hard to cover every entrance into the jungle. They already have 1 down, but if they just TP down the tower, come in from the south, you won't see that coming. So it's very hard to play around that jungle area. And you don't know how deeply they've warded, so it's very annoying to be there in the first place, as up at top, Yoku now going to get gone on once again.
They have vision on him. There's no way he can get out. The glimpse available.
That's often why teams... It's very hard to protect your safe lane tower, but if you can save your mid tower, you place a premium on that, it's pretty much the same thing. Then you're okay with giving up the tower as Elisash tries to go for the glimpse back, but everyone is there. And which is why you see the instant TPs. Even if that's a trap, you want to make sure.
That's why Empire got to go for it again here. They're going to drop the wards. A surprise push onto the mid-tier 1. And it looks like this time around, Kinguin are going to have to give it up. They just can't set up fast enough. So, not even bothering. They're just going to go push that offlane tower. TPs are coming out, though, from Empire. They're going to contest. And FN actually canceling his. Looks like a pretty deep dive here. Kotzer should be able to get out, though. So it's just a deny for Phantom Lancer on that tower. Exotic Deer's actually going to get caught, tries to go for the TP out. It's going to be close. Barely. FN managed to take it. Finishes Blade Mail, though. Night Stalker trying to chase. Trying to keep some vision. Looks like the Disruptor's a bit too far away to get a glimpse, though.
All these random pickoffs, though, are helping FN so much.
Yeah.
That's the second time they've run into the Nature's Prophet like that. Once when we saw it, the Dire Jungle. And they're going to go for the stack. This is what they need. Both teams just need to continuously stack for their ancient hitters.
My problem is that you have Brewmaster. He's one of like the ultimate teamfight heroes. What happens if they just roll up with the Deuce up onto one of the Radiant's ancient stacks?
Yeah.
Just tries to clear that. I am feeling like they gotta clear these pretty quick.
That's why. That's another reason why it's very important to keep those tier 1s up.
Yeah.
Because if your team isn't ready for that, you will just lose that, and it's not easy to fight around that area. You have the Shrine to connect to, but you don't know how deep the wards are. And if you're like a newer player and you're trying to understand like where do I ward, when you take those 2 towers, what you should do is ward aggressively into the enemy jungle, which is what they've done exactly. And that's why you often won't play in your own jungle. They're doing that right now because they can clear out this area with the Nature's Prophet. He can continuously shove in bottom, which then allows you to take that top, and you can free it up for yourself. Because one way or another, the enemy will reveal where they are. So like at bottom, FN clears this out. Now you know for a fact you're safe. Because they won't take a fight without FN there. And the Nature's Prophet can instantly TP. This is what made this hero meta for such a long time, is that you can clear out one area of the map, force somebody over, win the vision game, then by the time the enemy team reacts, like you're already in an advantageous fight.
So why did he fall off? Why did Furion just disappear from the meta for a while?
Awkward laning phase. Feels like the heroes are very... like there was a lot of catch-heavy heroes for quite a while that could clear him. People found better counters to him. Like, before, it was like Sven, you just like straight up pick Sven. Fuck people up, but... for a while, that was like the Bulldog move, right? You play on Radiant side, you push that top tower, top tier 2 out, and when somebody comes to defend, you know, you just immediately go to Roshan. And if they don't defend, then you grab a tower. Like, it's a very win-win position to put yourself into. And it's very awkward to play against.
There it is, Empire are going to clear through this stack as a team, too, with the Gyrocopter and his AoE as well as Nyx's Battle Fury. Jesus.
Oh, Nyx, be
so
careful.
much damage.
That dragon cleaves you.
That'd be minus armor from that, whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah. So now you push out bottom. You allow your Nature's Prophet now to be the one to play out top.
Furion is going to TP to tier 2, help them push while the supports look for the pickoff. Not able to get it though. Yoku's a bit fast for them. But they're one step ahead. They can take this tier 2, then they have a decision to make. They can either go back, defend their tier 2, or push for high ground and force Empire back to defend their base.
I think you might consider at least forcing them back. But they're actually going to go for the death.
Go for a kill on Miposhka. Blink Dagger, they don't have a way to stop his TP unless they just kill him, which is what they do.
Didn't let him drop wards either. Remember Seneco's Shaman? He would just like go up there, place wards, get killed, die.
Yeah.
But by the 5th time you do that, Cap, the 5th time you're good.
I thought you were going to say it's no longer worth it.
No.
You just keep investing?
You double down on that. Never give up, Spirit.
That's certainly what Kinguin have right now. Never give up. They lost a bit of a heartbreaker earlier against Mineski. Game 2, Mega Creeps. Ended up losing the game anyway. Then they just lost this late game against Empire in game number 1. But they're coming back with a vengeance. Game 2, 16-9. At 18.5 minutes in, they've got a Dusa lineup, which is just about to come online. Once you got that Scotty right, it's usually go time. Around that 25-30 minutes, you feel pretty good about a Dusa lineup. You get the slow wave push forward. Oh, he actually goes Maelstrom.
Need to against the PL.
That's a good point. Miposhka's getting caught again. No wards being dropped again. Well, I lied.
Oh, that was
That was kind of sick. Except for the fact he kind of gives up as much kill gold by
Hey,
them farming up wards.
Is that true? Okay, yeah, he's
That
actually giving up
definitely
like.
is true.
He just gave up like 300 gold.
Yeah.
I was trying to count. I was like, oh, that's a lot of wards farmed.
Now he
He's
doesn't
trying to
have
deny
wards.
them. You know, whatever. Can you really put a price on a human life?
Yes.
It was, yeah, it was like 230
that
gold
is
or
exactly
something.
what Dota does.
Can you really put a price on a soul, Austin?
Empire still going to go for a push, it seems.
Yeah, they're very strong with FN, but I don't know.
Yeah, they got Epicenter. They've got an Omni Knight who's full up. It's going a bit more of a utility build with this 4-staff.
I don't know if you want to cut through Nisha, though. Maposhka, buddy, they know you don't got TP.
Boy, this stream has just been the Maposhka show, and not in a good way.
194 gold. That's how much.
That's how much a human life is worth.
That's how much that human life is
William.
worth.
And wards were worth 300 gold, so...
They're going to get the glimpse back, too. Did they just go in for Roche?
Sure.
Tasty.
I think Kyoku needs a little bit more practice with the Glimpse Burrow Strike interaction. Don't think that one was very close. Is they just doing Roche right now?
And Nyx
Hello,
is just going straight up for
yeah.
the Manta.
It's gonna fall. Trying to split push as best they can. But they're not going to get really any towers for this. It's really nothing at all. They just kind of get a Roshan for free. No
Strength
trade-off.
of the Nature's Prophet, dude.
Yeah.
You instantly get there.
Cover all the lanes.
I think you only send Dusa up top, though.
Yeah. They are currently setting up. They have a Sand King behind Ghost Stick with a Blink Dagger and Epicenter ready to go. But well, maybe with FN. Maybe they could actually kill this Dusa. Or
You would have to, like,
yeah.
overkill her like crazy, though.
You don't think they could do it?
I think they could take her down once, but I think
Yeah,
everyone
sure.
TP's in for the second fight. And you've
They have a lot
demonstrated...
to catch.
Yeah, you're not winning team fights right now.
They have Night Stalker during night. They have Disruptor. They have Furion. There's no way you're killing her and getting out alive.
That's a 6-charge Spirit Vessel. I've never seen it go up that high.
Yeah. Katsu are certainly having a very different game.
Because this game, he gets to do something.
Yeah.
It's not like he was a different player. It's just different heroes.
Yeah.
It's not like he inherently played right. He was a Clockwork, and this time he's a Night Stalker, and he was able to kill people.
That was very impotent Clockwork game.
Now he's got 1,700 health as a support Night Stalker, and he deals a lot of damage with that Spirit Vessel. That item is straight up godlike.
Especially against an Omni Knight. Purification's going to be not real effective.
Yeah, it's like a Pit Lord Fire that follows you around. They might just go for the high ground here. Force the engagement.
Yeah. They have the Phantom Lancer right now hitting on the tier 2. They want to force him back to defend his base. And if he doesn't, then they will just try and take this tier 3. But Gyrocopter clears through things pretty quickly. So that tier 2 is basically low enough to drop.
Oh,
No Flat Cannon this time around for FN. So things are going to last a little bit longer. Blows the call down and everything else.
he's so close to BKB. He wants that before he fights. The tower's starting to get really low now. You got to make a decision if you're Empire.
I mean, it doesn't seem like the Phantom Lancer's going anywhere.
Yeah,
He
he's
is
making the right choice.
Committed to split pushing. Is this the right choice? Losing your tier 3 this early? Well, I mean, if they can keep the tier 3 alive and get some kills without him, Pato's going to jump in. Pops the Brewmaster ultimate. There goes the Static Storm as well. Doesn't really catch a whole lot of heroes, though. Maposhka may end up dying to the Brewlings, but it's a minor cost here. It was not the initiation that Kinguin desperately needed. In fact, they're going to lose the Brewmaster and not get the Shadow Shaman kill.
All to try to save your Night Stalker. Not worth it all.
And that was like 3 minutes of farming time for a PL, and they did not kill that tier 3 and open up the shrines.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I think the PL, like, what are you going to do for that?
Yeah.
Your team's going to defend with or without you. FN's the important one there, which is why he's the one that stays. Like, Nyx needs to scale this as fast as he can.
Yeah.
The Battle Fury build is greedy, but if you can get away with it, like, now he's level 19, he farms very quick. He's going to get his defusal at a very decent time on top of the Manta. Was relatively unpunished.
Yeah, I guess you really aren't going to do a whole lot if you don't have the Fusil Blade yet. What, do you think Manta build was the right one? Just deal with the catch of the Night Stalker?
Yeah, I think he also wanted to just keep shoving in the waves.
Yeah.
To counter the Nature's Prophet.
And the Illusions are doing that really well for him right now. Top lane. Laying down some wards. They don't have a Blink Dagger on Maposhka, but they do have a Force Staff on the Omni Knight to make this initiation. He's going to be able to grab him with the Shackles. Now, this Furion is very tanky. They can only get him down to half HP. Ghosty gives up on it, goes for the TP out. Leaves Maposhka to die. Oh, at the same time, the Mage is going to Static Storm down. It costs Elisash's life. And the TP out. No, they're not going to be able to get it. Nice attempt there from Nyx. What a big, big kill for Kinguin, and now they can push into the tier 2. The initiation comes in though. Katsor has to run the missile out here.
Oh,
the
he's
repel
stunned.
out. Oh no,
He didn't get him in it.
himself. Missed Guardian Angel from Ghost Stick, and he willingly turned himself to stone as the gyrocopter.
Oh no, he was barely outside of the range of that. Not what you want.
And all of a sudden, Kinguin, one pickoff turns to 2. Now they can bang on that high ground. Nisha may not have any mana, maybe at half HP. It doesn't make a damn difference. He's got an Aegis, and he would really love to take this tier 3. Oh, there goes the Aegis pop. Back to full HP, full mana. So we have enough time to maybe poke one more.
I think you go top.
Take that tier 3 real quickly.
That's exactly.
Is that an
what they're
aggressive
doing
Force
right
Staff push? I think it was from the Omni Knight. They're going to try and separate the Dusa here, get some damage on him before he can go for that tier 3, but he's tanky enough. He'll persevere. And now, focusing on the melee racks. Here comes that Epicenter. Jump in. 2-man Burrow Strike. That's a good start to this team fight. But Patos already has his Brewmaster ultimate out, and they can't really do much to stop this damage. So they're going to take that melee racks and now full retreat before the Gyrocopter or the PL is back. And Empire do not have the catch to punish them as they run away.
Very well done. I like that they committed for top. I think there's no way you try to make the same play at mid. They don't have the detection. Sand King is just sitting there. Omni is in a very defensive position. You neutralize him by going top where it's already opened up. You just pop the Bruise Split, lift him in the air repeatedly. It's exactly what you need to do. That's what they get away with. At the same time, Ghostic is getting very farmed, almost has that Radiance completed. And once that happens, it's going to be a lot harder to fight into him.
Yeah.
Of course, you can just continue to get thrown up into the air and watch the fight from high on up.
But while he's floating up in the top, he'll have sparkles everywhere.
Yeah, it's sick. I like the synergy. You're always useful. You fools.
No real MKB buyers on the side of Kinguin for the early game, that's for sure.
Yoku went in with a pretty big ult, but it's just like the downside if you don't have follow-up. Sand King ult is really underwhelming.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like the Epicenter is more noise and light. It's
Yeah.
like a light show. It looks really big and there's a lot of chaotic things happening, but there isn't any real damage behind it a lot of the times.
Yeah. That's always kind of been like the knock on SK as a 4.
Yeah.
It's like stun. The initiation is very nice because it's like a targeted stun. It's not like Nyx or anything like that. Or Slardar. You know, or Slardar stun, it feels impossible to hit early game. But the downside, of course, and you're very mobile with your Sandstorm, and you can shove out waves with Caustic. Like his first 3 spells are excellent, and then his ult feels very just like meh.
Nisha gonna pop that Stone Gaze. FN's gonna ignore him, goes straight for LD. Saj pops his VKB, goes to backline. Exotic Deer is actually, no, he's stoned up again. Ghostic was far too far away to be able to save him here. Ghostic's just charging in now, pops a repel. Man fighting a Dusa. Good luck with that, buddy. Kinguin, they have won this fight already. It's just a question of how many heroes can they actually catch. Looks like the Sand King Yoku does manage to buy some time for Ghostic. Try and get himself away, but he is not a very fast hero. Furion's gonna land right on top and manage to get the trees. There's no way to cut himself out with Force Staff on cooldown. They'll get that extra core kill. 2 down from Empire.
Very well done by Kinguin. Much more disciplined game in this one, and I really like their draft. None of their heroes got punished, it feels like. They were able to enable both supports. Now you're in a position where the Dusa is Omega farmed. It's not easy to take her down. Gyrocopter buys back. But if you don't definitively win this, you're going to be so far behind at this point that your game impact just goes to nil as he is now fallen behind the Nature's Prophet in farm. Nisha just in the front line right now.
It's going to be hard for the Phantom Lancer to do a whole lot. He already has his doppelganger out, but FN gets a good amount of damage.
Very
Huge epicenter. Yoku gets a 3-man burrow strike, and that's the comeback for Empire. They're going to try and finish off the Brewmaster. Gets the Earth Panda as well. That's 4 now.
All right, now your epicenter looks sick. When you get to collapse on top of it with like the way that they did, then it looks very cool.
You know, I was just about to say, I don't think Kinguin should do this. I think they're pushing their luck because Roshan's up. They lose this fight. They're not just giving this up, they're giving up Roshan as well.
You saw the flat cannon plus the gyro ult comes down
at
the same time. I'm watching the replay from the main screen. They dealt so much damage into that corner. That's the second time Kinguin.
Like you're just telling the viewers what they're missing out.
Yeah. You guys just saw it, but in case there were some details that were left out, or if you're like doing an audio thing, that's the second time they've done that though. They did it in the Meneski game too, where they just rush things.
Yeah.
Just go for the Roshan. They did it at Perfect World too.
What game was that? Was that against Complexity?
I can't remember.
It was a Kinguin Cole game, for sure.
It was a Kinguin game where all they had to do was just chill. They would have won the game. They didn't really have the patience for it, so they ended up losing.
I think that's a byproduct of having a... I mean, they've been playing for a while now together, but relatively young squad. Not one of those, like, 10 years in the game experienced captain.
Oh, for sure. But I think they sometimes they just get overeager to end the game.
Yeah.
Like, guys, you're a good team. Relax. Like you're a very good team. This is a nice up and coming team. They can have a little bit more faith in going later on into the games, not have to rush things so much. The opportunities will present themselves. It's Dota. Everyone always makes mistakes.
Could be a mentality that snowballs itself, right?
Yeah.
They start losing late game, that they don't feel comfortable with late game, they just want to shut things out.
Then you just rush things overall, and it feels like your team is like lost its core.
They are still up by 1K, and they still have a full lane of racks taken at top lane. Omni Knight, that's a big pickoff. They are going to try and interrupt this one, but Yoko is just going to throw away his life, trying to save the Omni Knight. Brought down by the Yule Scepter, still going to end up dead.
Now you can go for it.
And he's
going to
die now +1.
Oh,
1,
Empire
2 to 3.
Just like last game. Just somebody, don't do this to yourselves.
Stop it.
Relax, guys. Now Kinguin's like, all right, I guess that's a freebie.
Yep.
They were not expecting
the
that
mobile
to be that
tank
easy.
that is the Deuce pushes forward into the buildings of Empire.
All right.
Feeling good, Blitz?
It's very confusing.
Blitz is just holding his head. He doesn't know what's happened in this game.
The frustrating part is like, now Empire, it was like last game Kinguin battled so hard.
Yeah.
And then they died like 3 heroes in a row and they lost the game. And I just watched the exact same thing happen from almost the exact same position. Remember, it was they got Roshan, then they went for these like weird plays. They all just died.
What Blitz is trying to say is these two teams are evenly matched.
They are
in both in their strengths and their weaknesses.
Empire brought it all the way down from like 9K to 1K. Can I see the graph? We don't actually have the monitor here. I need the graph.
Whoop.
Oh my god. It happened so suddenly too. If you guesstimate like the time difference that it took from it to go from like 10K up to even to 9K, it was like the span of 2 minutes.
Yep.
Huh. It makes it really exciting.
Definitely turned into an interesting game for sure.
I'm thoroughly entertained because I don't even know if that secures Kinguin's win. Yeah.
You don't know who's going to win. It should be Kinguin, right? They're up by 2 lanes of racks. They've got control of the map. They've got a Deuce late game, which even if it's facing up a Phantom Lancer, it's still one of the tougher heroes to beat.
Yeah, but you know, if FN just goes for like a rapier,
yeah,
man, Kinguin would ban that hero every game if they lost a gyro from this position.
That really is the point. Usually we say Megas is kind of the end of the game here. FN's going to be caught. He has no way to escape. He does have a cheese, though.
He's tanking a lot of damage.
Wow, he's just stuck in those trees the whole entire time. He's forced to pop his cheese. Now here comes the rest of his team. Yoko and Maposhka aren't going to be able to catch the Night Stalker here with a homing missile on him. He's definitely going to go down. But Phantom Lance in the back lines. He's killed the Disruptor, but he's stuck. He's going to lose his Aegis. They need to be able to catch the rest of Kinguin's heroes here. They're going to turn and fight. They're going to pop that Brewmaster ultimate. See if they can fight this one out. Ghosted comes in. Here comes that Epicenter, nailing most of the Brewlings in the back line. Exotic Deer stands and fights against Nyx, and he's actually winning the engagement, but he misses the trees. He needs vision. His ultimate bouncing around. Nisha just stands his ground and fights. His Ghosty's going to end up going down the eye of Scotty on him. Phantom Lancer comes back, though, finally able to finish off that Fury Gun, but can't go for Nisha. That Dusa is just too strong for him. He's got to play the side.
Yeah, I think you disengage here.
Jump back in. Here comes FN with the call down. They're going to try and finish off Patos and get out, but no! Nisha comes in with a buyback for Exotic Deer. He actually goes for Phantom Lancer, and he's going to nail him, too, this time around. He gets the tree surround on the PL. I cannot believe they went back in for that. They tried to go for the big play and kite the deuce up, but instead multiple heroes fall to this quick shot. Jesus.
Really thought when I said they disengaged,
they disengage
they
here.
won that fight 4 for 1.
Yeah.
You get out at that point and you're chilled. You're not killing the Deuce very easily.
No.
You just get out. That's fine. Your heroes are all like at 200 health. Nisha just stood there. She's like, all right, well, I guess I'm right-clicking you all. And she got level 25. She's so strong right now. That is...
No buyback for the Gyrocopter. 40 seconds left. They do have the Omni Knight coming back, though. But they're going to lose Yoku at this rate. Yoku, glimpse back. Yules can't save him, and they just cannot get Nyx's Phantom Lancer illusions. They've caught the Night Stalker, though. Maybe they can kill him. He pops his BKB. Stone Gaze goes out. Nisha left on no mana, but with the Stone Gaze out, they can't turn and fight him. Nyx is dropping lower and lower. He needs to be able to doppelgang out, but he doesn't have it just yet. The heal's going to be able to keep him alive, but the shots from Nisha still finish him off, and that'll be the end of the game. 2 minutes down. Empire no. They can't battle against Mega Creeps. They can't battle for that long without their Phantom Lancer.
GG as Kinguin, the team that had the lead, they do close it out this time around.
Yep.
They made me sweat a little bit, but they do end up taking the win. And Empire, I think they're going to be very disappointed because, again, they were given the opportunity to come back into that game. Even towards the end, after they lost those 2 Tesseract, they won the fight 4 for 1.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you just... I understand the reasoning. That's the first thing. I should say that I understand the reasoning. It's like, you're 4 for 1. Like, even though your heroes are low, you feel like, okay, if we kite this Deuce and kill it, then we're completely golden. We're gonna get everything. We're gonna get a gem. We're gonna completely team wipe them. We can shove out the waves. But it's just like a little bit too greedy. Your entire team's low. The buyback potential is still there. You know the Nature's Prophet can come back in. That Deuce was very healthy.
Yeah. They tried to go for the really big next level plays.
Yeah,
in a game that they didn't have to, right? They'd already kind of grinded their way back into a decent position.
To be fair, they were 2 racks down, so
Yeah.
when you're in that position, it's... like, I shouldn't judge them too harshly.
Sure.
Like, I want to go back on that a little bit, because that was my mistake. From my position, of course, it's very easy to see that. But when you're in a position where you're 2 racks down and you're fighting, like, and you feel like you can kite it, like, sure, you might as well go for it, but it's very unfortunate because if you roll that back, you know, they would play that differently. They wouldn't go for that engagement.
Yeah.
But in the moment, of course, it's very difficult. So I just misspoke there. You got to give players a little bit more credit than that.
Yeah. Empire, they try and bring it back. Unfortunately, unable to do so, but it's good for us. At least we're going to be able to see a Game 3. So we're going to head over to the panel to break down Game 2. Now, Kinguin managed triumph over Empire.
1, 2, 3, drop.
Indeed, Kinguin did do it. They force out the 3rd game and keep themselves in the competition here in the elimination match against Team Empire. And in what fashion as well. It was a very exciting game, back and forth. They almost dropped the ball there with a couple of high ground defenses and maybe being slightly impatient, but in the end they still pull through, and that Medusa was absolutely fat here with Luminous Imperium Flex. Lumi, what was the story of the game for you?
Yusa got fat.
Okay, that's okay. Fair enough.
Okay, real story is that PL went for the Battle Fury, which I can see where he's coming from, which is, look, we're going to get the Battle Fury. We're going to be somewhat slower in the beginning, but that means all of our other items comes on faster. We get the Diffusal Blade, Manta, so on and so forth. But I felt like the best time for a Team Empire to slow down the Medusa is to just go for the Diffusal drums, treads, and just fight and run at them. FN is generally a very active carry.
Yeah.
I thought Nyx on the PL also needed to be an active carry. Because you're not going to outcarry Medusa once she gets big.
So you feel like he was too passive this game?
The decision for the team to tell him to go Battle Fury was perhaps not the best one. But, I mean, we saw them coming close and winning the game late. So maybe I'm putting too much egg on the whole Battle Fury thing. Maybe it's just late game decision making.
Okay. There was an aggressive try lane coming out from Kinguin.
A semi-try.
Semi-try.
And the Prophet always comes down when he needs to, which I liked. I actually agree with Lumi. I think he needs to. I think he was right. That the Battle Fury pick meant that half the time we're like, the Gyro did not have a great lane.
No.
And what he needed was for PL to come and help him out, because the Medusa isn't going to want to fight for a while, and instead, she just got more and more time. Gyro was behind. PL is off farming. And if you look at the way Kinguin played it, they played it right. They were all up in their grill constantly. And all right, even if they lose a couple of guys, FN ain't farming, FN is dying. It's just not great. So I think Kinguin actually did it really well. They did somehow manage to throw it a little bit, and then Empire managed to throw it right back again. And then I think Kinguin threw it a little bit, and then Empire threw it back again. So
I mean, those are the best type of games, right?
They are, yeah, sure. It's great to see people recovering from mistakes, I think, which is definitely what Kinguin did. But Empire, you kept thinking, wow, they're actually turning it around. And then they do something that's just kind of mind-boggling. And there were a couple of times I didn't quite understand why FN just stood toe-to-toe with the Medusa who was ulting.
Yeah.
I was like, you're going to get turned to stone, homie. And he did. And he died. I just didn't quite understand some of the decisions. But I am not a professional Dota player, so I am not one to comment.
I gotta say, this game, my viewing experience was a little bit tainted by Kinguin's earlier experiences, where they were very successful in losing games.
Yeah. No,
so I constantly was thinking, like, you know, Empire was going to take this because I'm sure that Kinguin's going to... Yeah, I was waiting for that moment.
This moment brought to you by Kinguin.
When Yoku did the 3-man epicenter in, and everybody died, I was like, Kinguin, don't do me like this. You have the whole game, not again.
And I was like, yep, there you have it. Empire's making a comeback.
Because during that, they pushed Medusa without having... I don't think she even had half her mana pool then. And the phrase that Will said was, don't rush it. And that's, I think, perfectly describes.
I mean, there's FN getting turned to stone. There's a very late GA. Just things like that kind of just made the fights much harder.
Yeah.
Both sides were guilty of things like that, and I do feel like whichever team goes through, if they bump into a Liquid or someone like that, they're going to be in big trouble. But
yeah, there were a lot of mistakes from both sides.
Yeah.
So the winner of this plays Mineski again, right?
The winner of this will first play Mineski, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like Kinguin's nightmare. So even if they win, they have to face the demon again.
Well, or they get a chance of revenge.
Revenge.
You know, you can look at it both ways.
Yeah. I mean, this was a great I think this was the great Sand King 3-man. Epi Burr.
Oh,
yeah, it really was.
And I was like, all right, they got it.
Yeah.
Everybody's dead. But they then, what did they do? They overcommitted, right? They went straight down mid.
No, they got Roche. They got Roche.
They got Roche, but then they all died again?
They got picked off one by one.
Right. I mean, Medusa is just doing Medusa things there. She's just clicking people, walking slowly at them. I feel like the Omni didn't have as much impact as I hoped he would. He even got a Radiance, and he just kind of didn't really do much. Died real quick.
Yeah. I thought the Prophet was a very nice compliment to the Medusa.
Yeah, really good pick.
Because Prophet did a ton of things that was important to the Medusa lineup. It fought really early.
Yep.
Joined pretty much every single fight. It gave them Roshan whenever possible. Gave them towers whenever possible.
I mean, the PL couldn't fight him there because of the blade mail. But yeah, I thought Exotic Deer played the Prophet very well. Very mobile, engaged in the fights. This was a big mistake. They got 3 kills. The Prophet's dead for 74. Just back it up. But they were like, nah, dude, we could do it. Look how low we all are. I haven't got any mana or health. It's fine. And they just go in and Juice is just like, yeah, guess what? You're in my wheelhouse. And like you said, the buyback from Prophet was clutch. And then it was over.
To be fair, they were down 2 Raxus, so sometimes I think you needed to take that
I don't
YOLO
know.
play.
That's like the sunken cost fallacy. It's
Maybe.
like, just take it easy, lads. You've still got a chance here. You're not going to kill her. Go get some buildings pushed out. Maybe it would have just dragged it out.
I think the Nature's Prophet as well. We were talking about that aggressive trialing already before the game started, and that putting an aggressive trialing up against a Sand King, a Shadow Shaman, and a Gyrocopter, that's scary because that's a very scary trialing already.
It is. But you know what people were pointing out, and I did occur to me, is that Gyro doesn't really want to be up against 3 people.
Sure.
He wants to be up against 1 person and run them down.
Yeah.
But instead, what
He
you
goes
had
up against
was
4 people.
4 people essentially, plus trees. It's not ideal. So they got properly bullied.
Yeah.
Both Shadow Shaman and Sand King, they need a few levels. Sand King doesn't have a huge amount of mana early on. Shadow Shaman doesn't either. So I felt like they could just get run at, and the Brewmaster and the Night Stalker and the Prophet could just click them. They don't need to do anything but just punch them, and they did that over and over again. So well done them.
Well done them indeed. I mean, tying the series already, getting the first win on this LAN so far, and Nisha's Medusa.
Yeah, I guess
against,
that was MVP worthy.
MVP.
I mean,
He's not the off lane though.
You get that farmed as a Medusa, grats. Yeah, he's not. He was in the mid role, but
Yeah,
it's
he was
okay.
laning against a PL.
It's all right. Let's not point out our own mistakes.
All right,
We
sure.
were all on team.
That was my bad. I typed that off.
Yeah, that was Lily's fault. That's all right. It's all right. You'll get it right next time.
Okay.
Those snakes on top of her head do not look like they're doing. Look what they're doing.
The one on the right is doing
He's,
a
like,
celebratory
freaking out.
dance. He's just very happy.
He's in trouble.
No, he's happy. He's doing his dance.
The other one's just like
Why is there
just trying to
only
ignore
2?
him. Anyway.
Oh.
I don't know. I think Nisha did exactly what a farm Medusa should do. I feel like the Prophet played much better. Rotations were on point. He was always there.
Yeah.
Johnny on the spot, ready to get the business done.
All in all, we should have known this from the start. They picked PL. PL has yet to win a game.
You're
this
right.
LAN.
Yep, maintains his 100% loss record. Well
Stats
done.
don't lie and stuff.
They 5th picked the PL too, right?
Yeah,
They
they did.
did,
They
yeah.
could have
Counter
picked
the
anyone, and they
Medusa.
picked the losiest hero in this tournament.
Yeah. So what are we looking forward to seeing in Game 3? We've seen both teams win. We've seen both teams make mistakes and come back and, toss it back and forth.
I would
Looking
like-
forward to
How do they
a
make it more stable?
45-minute plus game
Okay.
Yeah.
where both
Anything can
teams are
happen.
gonna, do stuff and throw back and forth.
I would
No,
like to see one team commit to a complete surprise lineup.
Okay.
I
You
want
want
to see
to see
Techies.
cheese?
Techies is
I want to see Wraith King, who we
Yeah.
haven't seen yet. I want to see Pudge.
What's the synergy there?
I don't care. I just want to see something.
when you hook somebody in and Wraith King Bloodstone suicides, you slow that person.
And who's gonna kill him?
Pudge.
But
Techies mines.
Pudge can already
Techies
kill.
mines.
Pudge can already slow him himself. Techies is not in captain's mode. You can't have Techies.
I just want to see these things.
Can't
I
have it.
know. I
No,
know.
but how are these two teams? Because it seems like both Kinguin and Empire make these same mistakes. How are they gonna? How do you practice being more stable like that?
I
Because
don't
they
know.
just.
I mean, here's the
seem
thing.
to
We've
be
seen
shaky.
a lot of the very same heroes over the last few
Yes.
days. I just don't want to see Naga Siren. I don't want to see Tide. I don't want to see Disruptor. I want to see heroes. I want to see Pangolier and I want to see Dark Willow.
You can't.
I want to
Again,
see them.
You
I want to see them
cannot.
get in here. I'm not saying I miss playing pubs, but I want to get them in.
He's missing playing pubs. You're not gonna have him.
All right, fine, whatever. I don't care what.
Is that the part of pubs you missed? Techies and Pangolier?
I'm playing them, so yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, all Techies players out there are now in fear for their life for having a 6 month ban.
No, won't happen.
So Ted. be
I
ready.
think a team needs to just pick a super straightforward lineup like they've done previously in games
Yeah.
where people have come through. Nothing too complicated. Don't panic. And
Alright.
a nice simple execution that means that there's less can go wrong.
I
would
like
say,
that because
yeah.
those are good strategies and good tips to give,
That's what people
especially
do.
for teams that
They make mistakes from
make
time
mistakes.
to time. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lineup that can basically, if you make mistakes, the same plan still goes.
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
will.
it's easily recoverable. Whereas
Yeah.
I think the PL, even just that misitemization and up against the Medusa meant that he wasn't ready to fight, and he really kind of needed to because his lane went so badly. I think at that point you've got to think, look, the lane's gone badly. We need to fight, lads. Don't
Yeah.
get get a diff blade and come and help us fight. That would have been a good play. But yeah, they just need to do something that's a bit more straightforward. Maybe just get in their grill nice and early. Don't let Kinguin pick that number one, that carry that they want to. You know, they
Okay.
really want to pick a core that they can just say, all right, you just farm. And I think Empire's response to that is to say, well, we're just going to run all over you. We're never going to give you that chance.
Right, so you want Empire to play real fast.
Super aggressive. yeah.
Super aggressive, super fast.
Building,
How
pushing.
about you, Lumi?
Maybe they could first face a Tinker. It feels like Tinker is always being banned out.
Get in.
You know, they also lost with the Tinker against Newbie, though. I feel like the reason that they were successful with the Tinker was, sure, Nyx played a really good game, but at the same time, he also had that Bounty Hunter
Sure.
to help out with the Trek, get that extra vision up. That Enchantress was instrumental for getting them that win as well. That allowed Empire to play that fast.
True.
I just think that you want to put your player in their comfort zone.
Sure.
And if that's his best hero, most played hero,
Especially at first stand-in.
Get him
Yeah.
in there. This is
Yeah.
do or die.
Yeah.
Pick your bestest.
remember when Mag played Centaur that whole entire tournament,
Yes.
and he was a good Centaur player?
Cloud9,
Yeah.
Star Ladder as well.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually the reason they picked him Centaur is that they couldn't communicate with him, so they kept.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's a Centaur.
I mean, it was already great that they were able to get an actual offlaner stand-in for,
Yeah.
what was it, Bone 7 at that point?
Yes.
Yeah. At such short notice. But let's go for the draft. Game 3. Kinguin, Dire Side, Empire, Radiant Side. Which is, by the way, the same thing that has been the whole series so far, with first pick going the way of Kinguin again. They were also having first pick previous game. I don't think we're going to be overly surprised in these first few bans and these first few picks. It seems like we've got this pool that people are picking from, and there's not much variation in it, unfortunately.
I think each series have their own individual pool of heroes. For example, if this was Liquid, you need to be taking out, let's say, Earth Spirit or...
Sure. But then you're mentioning Liquid, which is a unique case,
Yeah.
right?
I do wonder if either of these teams have a Brood.
A what?
Brood.
Yeah, Brood Mother player.
I can't remember if we
Punish
saw
them.
it banned in one of the other games.
We did see it banned in one of the games earlier.
I want to say the first game,
Yeah.
perhaps this series.
Lycan ban. Brood would be interesting.
Of course, you can't force it, but when
We
the chance
saw
presents itself.
Kinguin. coming out
Kinguin
with
has
the
a Brood. Empire actually banned it out previous game.
Right. Tinker, first pick.
Shadow
Don't
Shaman.
just run the same lineup. What are they doing here? Okay.
Running
All
the same
right.
lineup.
They changed it up a little bit.
Oh no, Kinguin had the nice stalker
Yeah,
last game. Yeah.
Kinguin had Night Stalker.
But again, Brewmaster still 100% win rate.
Right hero. Tired, Lumi.
Yep. It's like 4 p.m., you know? I'm getting tired too.
Time for the afternoon
Been
nap.
up since 5 a.m. and I'm ready for bed.
Is it actually a thing in UK where you guys do tea?
What, we drink tea?
Like, you know, afternoon tea?
Yeah, sure.
You do that in the Netherlands too, though.
Okay.
What do you do?
You drink tea with cookies.
Right,
Cookies.
afternoon tea, yeah.
Two cookies and 1 cup of tea, generally.
What if you just have the tea?
Well, you
And no
can do that
cookies.
too, but it feels so empty without the cookies.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they really do that. 11Zs is another thing. About 11 a.m., just before lunch, you have a cup of tea. And maybe a small cake.
A small kid.
No,
It's like the
before
hobbits,
lunch you
you
would
know?
have
Second
coffee.
breakfast.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Star Ladder. We have cakes in our lounges.
Yes.
Yeah.
Multiple cakes, in fact.
Multiple cakes.
Today's selection was a banana pie,
Hey, there you go.
a tiramisu cake,
Good
and a
shout,
vanilla
man.
cake.
My goodness.
I do think that the brew pick was perhaps a bit too early because
Yeah.
It's a fairly strong surprise pick, but you know, second pick might be giving it away a little.
You know what we don't have? Anything open past 6 p.m. I don't know what it is so far with Shanghai, but the hotel and everywhere else seems to shut so early. My God.
It's cold. I think everyone wants to get
cold.
home.
I'm cold and hungry. I have money to spend. They're not interested. I'm just saying it's a little unusual in a city of this size.
So I want to see what kind of Broodmother, what kind of style this Broodmother will be. There's two like big deviations. The first one is like, for example, when Ramsey plays it, he plays it very for himself.
Yeah.
Goes for things like Mask of Madness, Desolator. He's looking to kill that mid tower. He's looking to snowball and just take over the game. And then you have other players like Notel, for example. When he plays it, it's about winning his lane, and then he rotates with the Brood, which is kind of
that's really
different.
sort of not what you'd expect from a Brood.
Yeah,
because she generally builds a house and lives there.
Exactly.
Like, that's it. That lane becomes her home.
Notel likes to like move his webs and decides to help out the other lanes. Much more team-oriented playstyle of Brood. So we'll see. I haven't seen Team Kinguin play Brood at all, so I don't know what kind of style they're gonna do.
I mean,
I believe if I might be wrong, but I believe Kinguin is one of those teams that has Brood played in different positions, so they have it a little bit of as a flex pick.
Even more surprises.
Well, they banned Legion out, which would say to me that they're going to run her in the safe lane. Or I guess mid, but I don't think I really would have expected to see Empire run Legion mid. But I could see them tossing a Legion into the off lane just to kill spiders, you know?
So often, like unheard of heroes like Bristleback now needs to surface up as a conversation because he's such a strong Brood counter.
Earthshaker as well is a possibility.
There was a game where in the summit where I think Notel played Brood and a Templar Assassin was played against it. And that Templar had like 100 CS in 6 minutes because it just killed all the Broodlings.
Of course.
Kinguin's Broodmother has a 75% win rate. Over
how
eight
many games?
eight
Eight
games.
games. Win 6 of them.
Pretty good.
So normally I'm not behind too much on the statistics because I feel like there's so much variation in game. But Broodmother is one of those heroes I believe those kind of stats. Because Brood takes over a game so often that I feel like she's a big part of her win rate.
I think the downside of Brood is that she falls off at some point, and then you're stuck with the Brood.
I guess the feeling is she would have taken enough buildings that it doesn't matter. Also, if you run her mid, and she dominates the mid lane and then the mid into the middle of the game. We know King would love to pick a super greedy carry, so I think that they could easily then have enough space made for them by this Brood and Brew. I mean, that's a lot of space already, Brood and Brew. That's tricky to deal with. So then you could still pick a proper old school carry on top of that. I mean, the Medusa's banned out, Lycan's banned out. They do like Lone Druid, and that would give them 4 heroes to Team Empire's 3. Nightstalker, Shadow Shaman +1, Brewmaster, Broodmother, Lone Druid and his bear. And when Brew splits, that's technically 3, so they would get 6 heroes. They would outnumber them 2-1 already, and we're only like halfway through the picking stage.
So I guess your only counter is to pick Meepo here.
Pick Meepo, get the numbers back up.
Right.
And then maybe
Makes
Ogre.
Does Ogre really count though? I don't know. I don't know.
And Jakiro. They're taking their sweet time here.
They really are.
Have they DC'd? No. Beastmaster.
I think every core they pick from now on will have some AoE. They don't want to make sure that Brood could have a good lane and run them over.
But this is also not just good for the AoE, but also great for the vision, which Nightstalker already was a little bit, of course.
Sure.
But great for the vision that Brood can't run away through trees.
It's a lot of vision.
Yeah. Vision and catch, everything you need against Brood.
One big creep that Beastmaster will be looking for with his Helmut Dominator will be the Darkshore Warlord creep.
Yeah.
Give that good ensnare on top of the Brood. Keep her locked down. That's assuming that he still goes for the build.
Now the question really is, what are they going to do with that Brood on the lane? So far, obviously, we already got a Brewmaster, which is most likely going to be on the off lane. So is Brood going to be middle?
I think
Well,
you're
that's
keeping the
what
option open.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think the Legion ban means that, you know, you just don't want to have your spiders getting owned by Legion. So I think that was a good ban. But
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, Beastmaster's, you know, he is annoying, and the axis obviously is not great. But you're never going to be completely AOE free what you're up against in the off lane. So I think it's fine. You could run her safe, but you could also run her mid. Let's see what they come up with for a mid. They've got a gyro.
Yeah. Yeah, so every lane, every core will have a way to deal with spiderlings.
Yeah.
Is this some next level drafting by Kinguin where
It could be
the
because
Brood is just
it
a
is a
ruse?
second pick
Yeah,
Brood.
it's so rare. If this is a position for Brood, I'm gonna lose it.
It would be something else.
They go like Jug, Shadow Fiend. See
That'd be
you.
amazing. Yeah. She just farms their jungle.
Yeah. Broodmother jungle is very slow. Would not recommend.
But she puts all the webs all over the enemy jungle, so she can help out the off lane. Helps
Yeah,
out Brewmaster. Steals the bounty runes. Elder Titan. No. So it is going to be a core Brood.
Again, was there any reason to
The dream is dead.
pick Broodmother like so early?
No, I don't know
No.
why.
Well, Empire has said they second phase banned Brood
Sure,
previous
sure.
game.
And I guess Kinguin hasn't banned the Tinker because they were almost goating Empire to like, hey, you want to pick Tinker for Nyx? We'll put our Brood there.
Yeah.
Come at us.
But then again, March of the Machines kind of zones.
It's good once you have it leveled up,
Yeah.
but like early on, you could get run over.
Machines versus spiders, Lumi. Who wins? I
Depends
would
on
say machines.
depends on what level of the machines are
That's
at.
true. But a vacuum cleaner, for example, that's a machine. Very powerful.
That's like
against a
about
spider.
level 3.
That's
level
a level
2.
3, yeah. Whereas a Rubik's Cube or a
level one-
television remote control.
Level 1 is one of those automatic toothbrush.
Electric toothbrush.
Yeah.
That's a level 1
That's
March of
level
the
one
Machines
machine,
are just toothbrushes.
Doesn't do much.
Just makes her kind of sparkly. Parablade ban. Do they ban the Stinker or do they go for something else?
They banned the
Spirit.
Storm. Okay. So this Brood is looking more and more like a mid with these spans.
Wow.
We still don't know which lane it's gonna be.
Look at their heroes though.
Yeah.
Kinguin have got themselves one heck of a draft here. Shadow Shaman is looking smaller and smaller with every passing selection.
All right, last pick. It will be the Shadow Fiend, so we're gonna have a safe lane
Ooh.
gyro.
I saw this
Mid
exact
Brood.
matchup at Genting. Dendi was playing Shadow Fiend,
Right.
and Mushi was playing Brood. And Shadow Fiend normally beats Brood, but Mushi outplayed Dendi there. So
Wow.
I wonder if we're gonna see the rematch, or we're gonna see a little bit of dodge. I hope we get the rematch though. It's a very fun matchup to see mid.
Brood versus Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
Well, it could be Timbersaw versus Shadow Fiend.
It could. That would be very boring.
Because we saw
By
Nisha
comparison.
mid previous game as well.
Yeah.
But time will tell. Lumi, Empire, what do they need to do to make sure that they are the ones to face Mineski later today?
Don't let the Brood go off.
Alright.
Like you brought up earlier, it's a hero, or maybe you brought it up. The hero doesn't scale that well. You need to get really far ahead.
That was Sheeps.
So
Yeah.
don't let the Brood do that.
All right, and I guess period. If I'm gonna ask what Kinguin needs to do, let the Brood scale up.
Let that Brood get there. Yeah, just they've got a really dominant 5, and they can definitely win a lot of lanes. I
Yeah.
think they just have to go and do that, try and beat that SF mid, and let Brood into that mid game just absolutely spiral, and they can run all over them and take all their buildings.
All right, well, one
And
of
get
these two
it done.
teams, one of these two teams is gonna play against Mineski later today, and will keep themselves in the competition. Let's find out if it's gonna be Kinguin or Empire with our commentators, Capitalist and Blitz.
Amazing. What an amazing duo of analysis. Do A. Don't let them do A. It's a nice combination.
That's why my boy Teddy Lumpkins gets paid the big bucks.
The money.
The money. I personally had to give up half my salary just to get Ted here for the first day.
Ted was begging. He's like, please let me do an event.
I tried sticking my hand out and he said, don't touch me. He's very rude. This one. I love you.
He gave him the finger.
Love him. Great guy. He's still whispering insults as he walks by. It's all good though. Alright. Empire versus Kinguin.
Ted said he would take Finger of Death as his Dota ability in real life.
In real life, that's kind of messed up.
Just give him the finger, you know?
Ah.
That's what he was trying to do to you. Just giving you the Finger of Death.
I would take...
I say
Phoenix.
time-lapse. Wait, you're just going to turn into an egg?
But I'd be reborn glorious as long as nobody touches me. And everyone would be stunned by my brilliance.
And everyone would be burning in the meantime?
Yeah, I mean, I'd turn into a literal sun, but... like, I'm in trouble. I'm about to die. If I'm going to die, that means other people are going to die anyways, right? So it's just like turn into the sun. And I pop out fresh.
Why wouldn't you just take Reincarnation?
I mean, that has cooldown.
So does Supernova.
Yeah, it's like lower cooldown.
No, it doesn't. Reincarnation has a lower
level
cooldown.
1. You get level 1.
Oh, you only get level
Yeah,
1.
level 1, yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so bounty runes picked up. Both sides equal.
We haven't talked about the draft at all, by the way. Because Kinguin got a Broodmother. They got their Broodmother. Kinguin are very good with this hero. Very few teams have lit the Broodmother go to Kinguin.
Empire's like game 3. Elimination. YOLO.
You know what I want to face? A Broodmother.
You might as well.
The game decides whether or not I stay in Star Ladder.
I mean, FN's a
another
beast.
series.
He's gonna win this game for them.
You think so? Is SF is just going to beat out Broodmother and Brewmaster and Timbersaw?
Yeah, the scary thing for me is that Nisha's gonna kerplunk on this guy up at top, though.
Yeah. Well, he's not kerplunking right now.
You need level 2, because level
Yeah.
1 you get reactive. I've made the mistake before of thinking that it was a good idea to get...
To challenge, get
Q.
Whirling Death and challenge
it's
them?
a horrible idea.
They
Don't
just
do that,
right-click
guys.
you.
They just right-click you. You have 0 armor. You die really quick. You're going to miss some CS and harass, but it's like... Also, you waste a lot of mana doing that. Like, all of a sudden you're level 2 and you've got 50 mana left. Get some levels first, fools. Be conservative.
So Beastmaster is going to have our time in that 1v1, but Kinguin are going for another aggro tri-lane, Brewmaster, Elder Titan, and Witch Doctor. I can't help but thinking that they have a big advantage here. They've won the last lane. I feel like they may even have better supports than last time around.
Yeah.
With the Elder Titan.
Witch Doctor is sick at this.
Yeah, that too.
I really like, though, that they're making sure that Patos has a good game. I feel like every game that Kinguin allows this guy to like shine, he does. And every time he gets shut down, he is... Oh, nice cast.
Gonna be able to get the clap as well. But Shackle there is gonna be tanked up by the creep wave quite a bit, but still able to finish him off. Looks like that was not the time to shine there, Blitzdodo.
No, it was not.
Mason-
Poshko was quick on that.
Yeah.
But they are going to win the top lane.
Are they gonna win mid? How does this matchup go?
SF's okay, but sometimes you just get swarmed by
Yeah.
Brood dudes, and it's annoying. I can't remember who Lumi thought won, but I think the Brood does okay. I think the SF does okay. It should be kind of hard for SF to get a kill, because Brood's so fast that it's hard to get stuck, unless you're really bad at microing the children.
So would you say, like, the point is to get the Broodlings on top of him before he gets the double raise?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Because one raise isn't going to do it most of the time.
Yeah. This matchup is like the living embodiment of how many 5th graders can you fight at once.
Big stomp with a Maledict already on Nyx. That's going to be a lot of damage. And even bonks Yoku one. So they may have died. They may have given up first blood. They are definitely pressuring this this gyrocopter.
Yeah, their Brood just comes down and continues to farm. Like, he's fine.
But Nyx seems to be doing just as well as FN was doing on the CS account.
Because they're not really trying to kill the gyrocopter, and he knows that. They're trying to kill the supports, which is why this time around the supports are playing very far back. Because if you force them to go on the gyro, then you've got turnaround potential. But if it's the shaman that gets gone on, like, what is he going to do?
So he's going to go the boar build. on the Beastmaster. I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do against the Timber side. I think
I heard
either
some
build
yelling.
is going to suck for you.
Ghost Stick took a lot of damage up at top. That's what I'm talking about. This is where the Timber now begins to shine. Although FN is...
Very far ahead.
Yeah, he's
killed a lot of little broodlings, as reflected by his inflated CS and inflated levels even.
That's a level 3 brood.
Stomp. Oh, 1-2 with a Maledict already on him. Mahoshka, this is looking pretty good. They're going to try and get a counter kill onto the Witch Doctor here. The Shackles goes up, giving Yoku enough time to be able to right-click him down. Maybe finally brings him down, but it costs him a lot of time here. Fortunately, it's nighttime, so he can outrun Kinguin. Unless Katsura can hit a big stomp, but I don't think they really want to try for that one.
He's already at like 300 health. There's no way. This mid matchup though, Brood is level 3. SF's level 6.
What's going on here?
Can we switch back to the net worth?
Blitz, you promised me relatively even matchup. What's going on?
Dude, I don't play Brood. I play a lot of SF, but I haven't played against a Brood in a while.
Big stomp with a double damage on Elisage. They are dishing out right now on Evan. He's going to taunt right now? My friend, you only taunt if you're going to live, and I don't think you're going to do that.
He was close.
Make
Kill potential's there though.
Oh, okay. Maposhka's dead as well. All right, well, this is going to bring the Brood Mother back into the game real quickly.
Oh, she's good again.
Yeah.
I mean, it helped that the Night Stalker secured the first UCS.
And Nisha goes in, just kills Ghost Stick.
Yeah.
Picks up his level 6, has the Chakram.
This is going to be one of the most one-sided matchups.
Yeah.
Timber versus Beastmaster.
Oh, well, Elisage stuck around a bit too long trying to gank FN again.
Oh, look at FN's build, by the way.
What is his build?
It's gone Soul Ring.
Ah. So he needs the mana sustain to just stay in lane against the Brood Mother.
Yeah.
He
The
can't
HP
leave,
regen's
right?
nice, too.
Yeah. I can see all that. Ooh.
He's trying for it.
Yep. Or Brood Mother, or Brood Master. Oh, he's just running at him right now. He does manage to get the double raise off, so Exotic Deer is low, but there's too many heroes here. FN gets ganked and dies again. The Night Stalker was supposed to be here to protect him, but he left. For the 6-minute rune, he abandoned the lane, and that is exactly when Kinguin pounced.
Doesn't find a good rune, though. Gets the illusion up at top, Exotic Deer. Now in this mid lane, they're just going to shove in, and Nisha is taking full advantage of the fact that he's got such an advantageous matchup. With 20 reactive armor stacks, and Ghost Stick's going to be very hard pressed to do anything in this lane, as now he's getting almost doubled up in CS. Going to get harassed back whenever Nisha has mana. He's even going for the hood, so ganking him doesn't even feel like it's going to be a very favorable option.
Yeah. And eventually, just tanks for the tower, bit by bit. That siege wagon will bring down the tier 1.
Timbercell's a pusher. People don't know that, but like,
Yeah.
Timbercell's a pusher because you can tank the tower hits and you can skip the creep wave better than almost any offlaner.
Very low risk when you
Exactly.
when you cut the creep wave.
It's not it's not you hitting anything that changes anything. It's the fact that you can clear the
FN
wave.
going to be forced back. A good stomp, though, as the call down comes in. That's going to be able to buy some space for them. Unfortunately, it still means Elisage will die. Bonk!
Does take the rotation of the gyrocopter though, just to defend the Shadow Fiend, and they took the top tower with no response. And Ghost Stick's game so far hasn't been enabled. They don't want to even go up here, and I think this is the right idea. If you recall EG versus Liquid, where they kept trying to kill Miracle.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
That
Very
was insane.
Yes.
As
Elisage, missile coming in. Nyx going to run him down with a Rock Brush. Another pick off here for Empire. It is leaving Patos alone in lane. Nisha is actually going to, instead of just keeping the pressure on that top lane, he's going to move to a different lane. See if he can take that safe lane tower at bottom. Not sure what Patos is supposed to do about this.
yeah, that's going to allow the Beastmaster to get some farm during this time.
Like, what is Patos supposed to do here? He's like, you just show up and take my lane away from me?
Yeah, that's
I'm not even level 6 yet.
pretty annoying for him to deal with.
Come on, homie.
Would you be? You'd feel annoyed, right? As
Yeah.
an offlaner there.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
like, I've already taken this lane.
Yeah.
If I'm my level 6, it's different. Like, maybe you want me to go and do something with my ultimate, but they're going to catch
Everyone's
Nisha here.
down
They
here.
have a lot of magic damage to be able to throw down at Nisha. He needs to be able to escape outside of these raises. If he wants to stay alive, he does manage to get the Chakra Mount slowing down, and now with the Maledict on top of Nyx, he's definitely dead. Patos, not quite level 6, though, is going to have to run himself away. Can't pop the ultimate. If he had been level 6, maybe he could have run down the rest of these heroes. Finally, Nyx dies. I thought he was dead a long time ago.
Yeah, now this mid tower is open, as Exotic Deer is taking advantage of the fact that a lot of those heroes rotated down. And that's what you get when you try to gank a Timbersaw that's that over-farmed at that point. They feel like they could have just triple raised, gotten the kill, but the lockdown just isn't there for long enough. He has a hood. It's not easy to take down this
Masters
kill.
coming in. They do have the roar. The single target focus on this Broodmother is going to be just enough to get the kill.
Yoku with the Invis was very patient with it, and Ghost Stick now enables his game a little bit more. And Ghost Stick, what does he have? Does he have the book?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, he's caught up in a great way. He's utilized this time very well.
Just straight brown boots, but he does have the neck
It's
round.
fine.
Yeah.
He's got kill potential now.
That's true.
And they can't afford to lose this mid tower.
Uh-oh, that's a stomp right on the marker there with the cast Maledict coming in onto FN as well. Lisa tries to back himself away. The second raise does not come in to finish off the Witch Doctor. Looks like the supports may still be able to run him down while FN dies to the Brewmaster ultimate. Nyx is still going to try and fight this one, see if he can save his Beastmaster. He's already low HP, 400 HP, but Patos, he runs out of his Brewmaster ultimate. Now he's going to be in some big-time trouble. Even the Cyclone onto Nyx, they're able to control him long enough for Nyx to come back down, help claim the kill.
And Yoku continuing to get a lot out of this game. The Broodmother has been hampered a lot by these ganks, and the Shadow Fiend just farms during this time. Gets quite a bit ahead. That is the upside of when you get to play Shadow Fiend and there's so much fighting taking place and you don't necessarily have to be there.
And eventually these heroes, the Gyrocopter and the SF, even the Beastmaster, they're going to be strong enough that they can stand toe-to-toe against the Broodmother by themselves.
Yeah. Especially the Beast right now. Of course, the Timbersaw is doing quite well for himself.
Of course, he gets a paralyzing cast that bounces back to him. Oh! Nisha misses the Timber Chain. They are still going to be able to land this. Nisha can go for the Chakram. Timber Chain through with
Now
a
he
Whirling
gets
Death
it.
on top. That is going to be a kill onto Nyx. Good setup there. Turn around. Ghost Stick. He has to roar the Broodmother and try and run himself away. Paralyzing Hasp. Bounced onto him once. Looks like he missed the nuke as well there from Exotic Deer. Hit the creeps instead. Creates some more babies for himself, but is not going to have the opportunity to push that tower. Not with the Shadow Fiend defending.
Yeah, with SF here, it makes it a little bit more complicated. I would like to see them camp, both teams keep their tier 1s up as long as possible, although Nisha keeping his catapult alive, really like this. With 20 reactive armor stacks, now it's turning into daytime. He can sit here and commit for this, no problem. Question is, does Empire do anything about it? FN really doesn't want to be here right now, but they do pop the glyph, at least for a short-term salve. And with Maposhka farming up top, I think this is just a tower that they're going to have to give up on.
They don't have an answer. They would have to Beastmaster Roar, triple raise him, call down, and it would still be close.
Yeah. They're all smoked up though. Kinguin, they're trying to catch this SF if he gets a little bit too greedy. And Lesage is going to get the pass.
Chakram on top of him, FN can't go anywhere. Turns around, tries to get for the raise onto Lisage. Not enough to kill him though.
It's very close though. The stun does land on the Yoku, but he is very fast.
Yeah. Hard kill to get. Right now, Empire are just trying to split push out the lanes. You've got Gyrocopter pushing out bottom. The top lane is being threatened by Ghost Stick. Call down, coming in. Kill some Broodlings. Ease the pressure off of the tower.
Yeah, this rocket is going to connect, but doesn't do very much damage. But Ghost Stick is going to do the Beastmaster thing, start pushing out top. TP comes in from the Timbersaw as Witch Doctor
that
Ward.
is not the cast. Maposhka is going to be able to stop the stomp here with the Timbersaw canceling his TP. This is a fight that Empire can actually win. Ghost Stick is going to try and get the roar onto Lisage. Gets Vision out, managed to get the Hex. Email mid lane. Nisha already dropped low, but is able to Timber Chain away.
I think Nisha's TP got canceled.
Lisage, Patos is actually up here, managed to pop the ultimate and turn. He's going to be able to take out Maposhka and catch Ghost Stick as well. Now, Ghost Stick is quite tanky, so... And he's about to run out of the Brewmaster ultimate here. He's going to get the stun, but there is definitely no way he can kill him. In fact, if anything, Ghost Stick can actually turn.
They're
slowed down by
and
the
Yoku's
roar.
coming.
They do also have the Timbersaw on his way, though. Nisha gonna try and kill some of these creeps, actually get some damage onto Ghost Stick. Here comes the call down though from the Gyrocopter in the back lines. Yoko's trying to finish off Patos, but the Stomp comes in just in time. But it was flat cannon shots from Nyx that manages to get that kill.
Yoku throws out the nuke. No follow-up though at that point, but very nice for Empire. A lot more coordinated in that situation. You took away the threat of the Timber Saw. Heroes are a little bit too fast for him right now.
What is this build from FN? No drums, just straight up Soul Ring into Yule Scepter. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, I think he realizes like the enemy team doesn't have the best lockdown. Like the only stun that he really has to contend with is ET and Witch Doctors. Although,
which appears to be enough to be able to get a kill time after time.
So much
even
damage.
if he TP'd out, he would have died from the Maledict. At least he kills a bunch of spiders on his way out.
they know that Maposhka's invis, but they can't do anything about it right now.
Yeah. Maposhka is hoping to be able to set up on somebody for his team, especially since it's nighttime. But it's a hard move to make. Kinguin are staying relatively grouped up. Right now,
Nisha's currently in the way.
Yeah, exactly. They can't go through Nisha, and they don't want to go on Nisha, so... Right, they're going to try for it. See if they can bring everything they have to be able to pull this Timber Saw down, and it was actually pretty easy.
Yeah, with 4 heroes.
And he did not have any reactive armor stacks at that time either.
Oh, Exotic Deer's got to watch out.
Yeah, good thing he didn't get hit by that Centaur Stomp. Bye-bye, Broodlings. Stomp. Yoku barely gets away. And 1K gold lead right now for Empire. They do have a lineup that scales pretty well with the SF, Gyrocopter, and the Beast. Sort of a tri-core setup here. While I would say Kinguin's lineup was supposed to win the laning phase and kind of snowball a bit, right?
Yeah, they anticipated, okay, the Brood, we're going to get Gangster here. They did. And at the same time, bottom lane will aggro, which will allow the Timber to get the one-on-one. They thought they were going to stomp all 3 lanes, which they did, but at the same time, like, Timber suffers from the fact that, like, his teamfight is whatever.
Yeah.
You need heroes by you. Oftentimes, Timber Saws get this, like, thing which Crow used to call, like, strongman syndrome, where you get this lead and you feel like you're unkillable, so you start playing, like, a little bit solo and cocky.
Yeah.
Because you survive 1 or 2 engagements and you think, like, well, I'm untouchable. But in Dota, I mean, the best part about Dota is, like, you can always kill somebody. You can 4-on-1, CC somebody down. Nobody's too tanky.
And as a result, give up a lot of golden experience. You can see that Timber Saw still top of the net worth even after that last gank. Currently smoked up Empire. It's daytime, a little bit harder to make this initiation. They're going to wrap around here and see if they can get the Beastmaster from behind, maybe, going for the roar. Or are they going to invade up to top lane? Looks like they're a little bit split on this decision. Maposhka is still sticking around mid, but the rest of the team's heading up to back up Nyx.
I think this decision right now is fine. Empire's doing a good job splitting things up. They're going to protect that tier 2 tower push, which will then allow Ghostic to now play very aggressively in this top lane, meaning that somebody always has to be up there on the side of Kinguin. Close game.
So would you say that straight off is worth it? Tier 2 mid for tier 2 safe?
I think it's fine. I think Empire will be somewhat okay with it.
Yeah.
Getting the tier 2 top means that there's always the threat of the Rax now.
We're throw out the darkness here, call down to try and clear out the creep wave. Maposhka from behind just try and stall up Nisha, but immediately Kinguin pounce. They
so
manage to
much
grab
damage.
Nyx as well, blow him up, and now FN has got to be careful. They can't defend this tier 2 any longer, even with the darkness.
That was greedy.
That was.
They took the tower top. You know that they're in position right now. The
Stomp.
stomp lands too.
Great job. Dropping the tornado just in time for the stomp to hit.
That's 3. And the tower. You had a decent trade.
What was it? Did Empire just assume that there was people rotating up to top lane to defend? Is that why they tried to make that play?
I'd imagine so. But they probably just overthought things. Like, oh, it's nighttime. They haven't really been able to keep up with us in fights.
Yeah.
But if you're going to take a fight, that's not how you take it.
No.
They ran in. Kinguin were perfectly set up in that situation. Patos is very good with his ult. he doesn't ever clap. He just like, whatever, I'm going to pop it.
Yeah.
Let's get the team fight going.
And when a Broodmother is already set up with webs, it's a big boost in your team fight because he's got a Desolator. He hits real hard.
I think they go for Roshan, though, with no... Brew splits.
No ET ulti either.
But I feel like Kinguin, they should contest this.
They've got an Elder Titan to spot things out with a Ghost Spirit form thing. Tough to be able to get in there.
Into the Ghost Spirit
Form thingy.
farm thingy.
Get the name right.
Man, Ice Frog really, really wanted to throw people for a loop with some of these names.
There's one hero that is really bad. We talked about it a couple times. I can't think of what it is.
Helpful.
Shallow Grave and Shadow Wave. That one. Dazzle. They're like the same thing. They're like the same name for some reason.
I like that name though, Shallow Wave or Shallow Grave.
But that's exactly what can happen. You can mix them up pretty easily.
Damn, Austin,
Shallow
you just taught me
Wave,
something new every day.
Shadow Grave. I've said Shadow Grave far too many times in my career.
That's just because you're not OD Pixel, but that's okay.
That's true.
Alright, bottom lane, Maposhka is gonna pay dearly for showing himself on the map for longer than 2 seconds.
You cannot very easily play the split-pushing Shadow Shaman in this game.
No, they will kill you. Nobody fears you.
Nobody's scared of the Shadow Shaman. Well, it's nighttime. What does Empire do here? I mean, they still want to take Roche, right?
They've got to take a fight. They got to take a fight first.
See if they can kill Nisha with the Eul Scepter combo. 1 raise, 2 raise. Hits a third, blinks back. Too tanky, it appears.
FN did not really want to go for that.
Yeah.
They're doing a fantastic job, though, keeping the ward vision around the Roshan pit and dewarding it. They're making absolute sure. And this is the upside of having pushed in that top area, because whenever Kinguin goes to deal with that, you're at liability to just get Roshan. Or losing the mid tower yourself. But I don't think this is a tower that you should give up. If you can continue to keep this tower up, it's very hard for Empire to sneak that Roche.
They're going to give up now, but Patos is going to try and get the initiation. He leads with the clap, though, and that leads into disables. Calldown's going to come in. Patos is going to be able to get off his ultimate, though. No more disables came down, but at the same time, they've already lost their ET. With the Maledict, Gyrocopter does have to back out. Now, FN gets off the ultimate, try and lower some of this damage. But Nisha is just far too big. Fortunately, he's burned out of mana, so it's going to be hard for him to come in. Yoku actually managed to kill the Witch Doctor and may still manage to get out. Exotic Deer is trying to run him down right now, but it's darkness, and it's pretty hard to be able to chase him. Patos at low HP has to back out. It's going to be slowed down by the Necronomicon minions, and Blink in from FN will finish him off. Now they can just kite around this Timber Saw, and Exotic Deer does not have a BKB to be able to fight this one out, so Empire take this fight cleanly.
They are getting kited. That was expert team fight.
Oh, they
might
got a
get
missile.
more.
Exotic Deer, he's going to be caught here. Eul Scepter into a missile and Void. That's a team wipe.
Very well done by Empire. That was very well done. Their team fight was exquisite right there. Everyone landed spells as they should. They came in and out like a squad. Nobody abandoned each other. They stuck together. They got kited like crazy bad.
Honestly, Empire looks like such a well-executing team. It really seemed like they're a step above Kinguin when it just comes to straight-up execution.
Yeah, in the fights, right now, yes. But their heroes are easier to play too, because their heroes are really fast.
Yeah.
And they've got the easier lockdown. Like the fights where Kinguin win is because they get like 2-man stomps. But when they play around that fact, it makes it very hard for Kinguin's heroes to keep up. Because nobody gets locked down. Everyone's very fast. Everyone's got phase boots and drums. Or Eul Scepters and blinks.
It feels like a lot of empty net worth now on Kinguin's heroes. The Broodmother, Timbersaw, still top of the net worth board, but you don't really see the impact of this net worth compared to the Shadow Fiend or Gyrocopter.
If you can't actually get your spells off or get your right clicks off as a result of a lack of disable, then yes.
Yeah.
But who knows? We've seen 45 lead changes in this series.
That is very true, as we see a big one here on the screen. A very large dip down into the favor of Kinguin in the backup.
Who just finished BKB?
That's a good question. BKB on Exotic Deer and Patos. Exotic Deer needed one so badly. He just can't actually team fight this team whatsoever. But a BKB finished up in the SF is certainly going to make things a bit easier for Empire as well. They're up by 4K gold. We've got plenty of initiation, 2 scaling cores, vision advantage, easy Roche taking capabilities, and here's the initiation. Patos does immediately pop his ultimate. Look at that. The Necronomicon minions are just going to be able to finish off the Elder Titan without any huge commitment. But they're tornadoed up the Gyrocopter. They're going to bring him back down, see if they can kill him real quickly. There's no instant disable though, and Nyx is just so fast, he's able to outrun most of that boulder time. So now Kinguin are just spinning their wheels. They're not getting any kills out of this timing. The Brewmaster ultimate fades. He has to blink himself away. Going to be caught by FN. Charges forward, pops his BKB, ready to let loose his ultimate. No, he's just going to kill Elisash first. Now throws it out as Gyrocopter actually is going to come in, help out Patos. They're going to be able to bring him down. It looks like even with the BKB, he should still fall. Nyx has to be careful though. His Exotic Deer going to be caught by the shackles. Great hold there from Maposhka. No disable to be able to save Exotic Deer. The missile comes back out towards the Gyrocopter right next to the Elder Titan. He'll gladly take that kill. Thank you very much. Timbersaw still trying to fight this one out with the Exotic Deer. Maposhka though with another great hold just keeps on ignoring the Timbersaw. He just can't seem to do enough damage to threaten any of the cores. Can only kill supports. So in the end, we actually go, what, 3 for 3? With the Gyrocopter dropping to the Elder Titan. 3 for 4, excuse me.
Yeah. He ran away from his team.
The exact same gold exchange.
And got the missile rebounded onto himself, but you see the struggles of Kinguin's teamfight right there. As soon as they kill the Elder Titan, they don't have the lockdown. And without the control factor there, no one's dying.
And Ghostic is so farmed that you see his initiations just getting easy pick off. Every single time he just roars, throws all his minions out there, throws his Necronomicons, throws his boars and beasts and whatever. And he could just run back.
Yeah, having the Beastmaster in this game right now feels very good. Even though the laning phase went very mad, he caught up very nicely.
Yep.
Took a bunch of towers, and now his guaranteed initiation slow is making all the difference. And the fact that everyone's playing the move speed alone makes it very difficult.
Now we've got the Shadow Raise damage. Huge upgrade to the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
Still no Roshan, though. Somehow, neither team has felt enough of a lead to be able to take it. Solar Crest finishing up for Yoku. So they'll have an easier time focusing down some of these heroes. But it seems like they just ignore the Timbersaw and focus everybody else.
That's what they've been doing in all these fights.
Yeah.
They kill the 2 lockdowns. The Witch Doctor cast does count as a lockdown. They ignore the Brew, because they're like, Brew does nothing this game. In the previous game, he had a Medusa to back him up. So that was actually kind of scary. But this time around, like the Timber, no, they just run around the spells. They don't really care too much. Timber's very tanky and hard to kill, but you'll be able to 1v5 him the later this game goes. Just dance him in a circle. And I think Empire feels that right now. As long as they take down the 2 control factors from Kinguin, they're not able to actually deal any of their damage from their cores. Like, prodigious net worth, but doesn't mean anything if you can't use it.
He's going Shiva's next.
Just tank up. You need armor items too against the ET.
And the Desolator.
Yeah.
Broodmother. I feel you. Just trying to get a Scythe of Ice right now on the Timbersaw because they need some additional lockdown. My goodness. They're sneaking Roche. Broodmother is in there right now with all her babies.
She's trying to make something happen right now.
Yeah.
The Roshan would be a very good step.
Oof. We got the upgraded axes now for the Beastmaster as well. It is nighttime. Kinguin You are going to be so hard pressed to actually take this one. They've already popped the Brewmaster split. Turn around, Lotus Orb. Great reaction though, but FN is here. He's dishing out the damage with that Shadow Fiend, but he wants to be able to keep his distance. Exotic Deer is going to commit here with the BKB. Now trying to track down FN, but he's already got the Ghost Scepter and movement speed to be able to stay away. So instead, he goes for Nyx. Nyx, down to half HP already, running low on the BKB, but again, Miposhka is there, always there to be able to shut down that Broodmother. It cost him his life, but FN, we will be able to finish up the kill. He blinked in for that one. He's not getting the miss. Oh, he explodes, and that'll finish up the Broodmother. Yoku managed to kill the Elder Titan in the back lines every single time. This pesky Night Stalker is catching those supports. But in the end, it was a big win for Kinguin. They managed to finish up 2 cores out of there, even if it cost them the Broodmother.
Yeah, ET gets a very good initiation this time.
Yeah.
When ET gets these like wild initiations off, where he gets 2, they get the split earth, then yeah, fantastic. And at the same time, he was able to reflect the roar.
Yeah.
Which locked down Ghost Stick during that entire period, which then got him killed. Then they all just jump on top of FN. And Empire should have known that. They've won 4 fights in a row consecutively, just going on that ET, jumping on it, making sure he doesn't get any of his abilities off. That time around, though, they just set up so awkwardly. The Beastmaster Roar reflects onto himself. They get outplayed a little bit there.
Rushing in, Nyx trying to get some flat cannon shots to Patos in the back line while Yoku can finish him off, and sure enough, he does that and gets the courier killed. Elisash TP's out, and Nisha, he may be tanky, but not tanky enough to survive against 4 heroes. Kinguin stick around too long again.
If Yoku loses this game, he's going to be so furious.
Yeah.
He has done so much for his team.
Certainly just won his team a fight to take Roshan, that's for sure.
Kinguin just sticking around a little bit too long.
Kinguin just, the decision making on their part is costing them these games. I mean, they just won a great fight for the first time in forever. Didn't take Roshan. Instead push, get caught, Empire the ones to pick up the Aegis, that's for Nyx.
I think they realized too, though, like the team fight problem still existed.
Yeah.
Now you've almost got the E-Blade on FN. Just shy of it as Ghost Stick pushes out top. Level 20 going for a Force Staff himself so that they can further disengage.
Right now, Kinguin are pushing towards the top lane, but Empire's not too far behind, currently set up in mid. Trailing the Kinguin members, they feel pretty good with the current nighttime situation. Nyx is going to go ahead and collect some of the gold that's still left on the towers. Tier 1, Tier 2, both available bottom lane, and that will also get him that upgraded item, the item killer, what's it called?
Nullifier?
Nullifier, thank you.
Easy push for them at bottom.
Yeah.
Kinguin gonna avoid this as the lead now climbs to 11k. And Empire, they just have to make sure they don't get multiple man ET stunned.
Yoku, again, time and time again, he's searching for that Elder Titan in the back line.
Alright, wards have been dropped now.
It is daytime, though. They have darkness once Kinguin really try and fight. They're going to deal with the Serpent Wards first. Tier 3 will go down to about quarter HP. And Empire will call it quits, as they should. They should be very happy with the pace of this game. 11,000 gold up. At 32 minutes in, with a lineup that scales well. Katsu is actually trying to get a rod at Atos. Just that extra bit of lockdown for his team.
At the same time, the Brood's also going for the Nullifier. So he can actually get on top and he just doesn't get blinked around the map.
Yeah.
And a Hex completed. Like, this is how badly they decided they need Disable. They're like, well, we actually can't kill anybody right now. It's not a matter of being more tanky on.
Roar onto Nisha. Patos jumps forward, immediately pops his ultimate, but Nyx already popped his BKB, and they're just going to lay into this Timbersaw, see if they can finish him up. Indeed, they do. Shadow Fiend's low enough that he has to back out, but they've already finished off both the Timbersaw and the Brewmaster, and now the Witch Doctor with a jump in there from FN. Katsor chased away by Yoku. Axes are going to finish up those Broodmother Broodlings. And they're going to be forced into a buyback here. Timbersaw, but Brewmaster and Witch Doctor do not have it. And even if they did, they would have no Brewmaster ultimate, so Empire feel good about pushing this.
Stomp does connect, but where's the follow-up damage here as Nisha is back alive?
Chakram is just such slow damage.
Yeah. At this point, he does not feel very threatening at all. They're just ignoring it. They're even going to go bottom.
2 lanes of Rex, it seems. Perhaps Kinguin can still take a fight, but the Gyrocopter on the front lines is not the easiest one because he does have the Aegis.
Yeah.
Kinguin do not feel comfortable with taking this team fight whatsoever.
Yeah, they're going to back out, reset things a little bit. And they're up quite a bit at this point. 21k is their lead. This series has been marked by back and forth action. But now Kinguin completely on the back foot.
This would definitely be one of the more impressive comebacks that we've seen so far, because I just don't think Kinguin's lineup can really team fight against this anymore.
Yeah. The Timbersaw's not in a position where he even got the Hex off. Yeah. He just gets blown up by the Roar now. Roar Nullifier, dies in 2 seconds.
Just trying to get BKB, just deal with all this magic damage. Empire can bide their time. They've got Shrines to deal with. They've got a Roshan to take if they want to just kind of chill out. Really secure their victory. After all, they've got another series to play through.
Yeah, you want to make sure this is clean.
Yeah. Don't want to give the opportunity for Kinguin to have a comeback and make this game messier. But it's already been. Oh. Jump in, long jump from FN. Blows up Elisage with the Ethereal Blade. Now another jump in from Ghostic this time around. They're going to go for the Timbersaw again. Over the line, Maposhka gets a lockdown there with the Shackles. Is going to be tossed up in the air, but it's just enough to Sable to get Nyx in there to finish off. Brewmaster, Timbersaw, both down. Exotic Deer is going to be last left alive, and it's going to explode from FN. That'll finish things off. Empire. What a clean fight, and what a way to end this series is Empire 2-1 Kinguin.
That time was much cleaner execution. Yeah. There was that one fight which made things a little bit awkward momentarily, but for the most part, that one felt like it was very thorough. And I think Kinguin, very disappointed with how this tournament ends for them.
Absolutely. I mean, I thought they had a strong possibility of placing second in their group. Yeah. They were showing a perfect world, which was pretty decent. Repeated showings there in the European qualifiers against some tough teams, but here on the main stage, it looks like they just could not seem to pull it together.
I'm very happy with how Empire did, though. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
They were able to pull things back. They adjusted to the decisions in game number 2, this time around with much cleaner fights. They felt like they had heroes that could actually do stuff. They picked up the Night Stalker for themselves this time around. Yoku was a beast in this game. He was very active around the map. The Elder Titan had like no game in this game. Like he could not play the style that he wanted to because Yoku's just on the front lines at all times, spear wrestling him up, running at him. Very well done. As a growing and very improving team, I would say the only downfall for Empire would be Yoku all of a sudden saying he doesn't want to play support. Yeah, if he's just like, I'm done with this role, put me back mid. It's like the off lane all over again. He's like, you're doing so well. This guy is a beast at 4 position. I really like seeing him. He's just a talented player. Yeah. So now they get another crack. They were able to take Newbie to 3 games this time around. Kinguin take them to 3 games, but they are the ones to advance. Very well done. So they're going to face up against Mineski. Mineski, they get their second crack. Yeah. Or first crack. They get to avenge. Yes. Kinguin. Avenge Kinguin. That game. That's what I mean. Like, Kinguin, they can't have been happy with how they lost. No. Not that series. Not this series either. All right. So that's it. Kinguin are out of the tournament. 2 more teams to be eliminated. Of course, we're going to break that down with the panel, so we take a short break.
very much, Capitalist and Blitz, and that is Empire making it through the lower bracket. They still have, of course, one more opponent before they make it to the playoffs, but they were able to beat the Brood. They were able to beat the 100% win rate Brewmaster, first team to do that here in Shanghai for the Starlight Air League Invitational. And here with me, Luminous and Pyrion Flex. Pyrion, that game, Empire, were you confident the whole way through that they had it?
Not from the draft. I think it looked like it was going to be tricky, but I mean, they just showed a bit more class. I think, honestly, we've seen Kinguin have had good drafts, and they can have some good fights, and things look really good. But then it just seems to get away from them, and I think they just need to get better at that middle to late stage of the game when they either crush it and then throw it away, or they just don't quite get there in time. And I think that's what they need to look at.
So I know there's a lot of attention and focus on the Brood, so let's start there. The Brood actually won the Shadow Fiend lane, which Fog and I were talking in the back. You know, we're saying that if the Shadow Fiend plays well, it actually should be Shadow Fiend favored. But FN died multiple times in a row, and then we're both like, okay, Brood's gonna carry this game. But then halfway through the game, it felt like Brood lost her place in the game. I think she died once or twice. A Brood lead is very fragile. I think once you die once or twice, you give up a lot of the map momentum you have gained, and I kind of felt like Empire was let back into the game off of some key mistakes by Kinguin. So
because the Timber Saw was absolutely fact.
Yes.
That was after the Brood would fall off. The Timber Saw was there to maybe, hopefully, for Kinguin anyway, save the day. Why didn't that happen? Why did that not happen?
Oh, the Nullifier came out. Once the Nullifier came out, because he was basically using Lotus Orb on himself to protect against Beastmaster Roar, Hexes, Shackle, all that stuff. But once you nullify him, then he couldn't cast any of that. And they had enough damage at that point between Gyrocopter and Shadow Fiend to focus him down.
Yeah, according to many people in the break room there as well, it was Ghostic's Beastmaster that was the MVP of this match, and we actually have an interview with Ghostic right now.
Here we go.
在1比2落后的情况下拿下了比赛。那么首先还是要恭喜他们，毕竟赢下了比赛。但是我们的粉丝都觉得帝国的实力可能要比对面的企鹅要强一些。但是今天确实在落后的情况下，而且非常辛苦的翻盘，第3局打得也很接近。所以我的问题是，为什么会发生这样的一个情况？让他来帮我们稍微的总结一下。
First, congratulations! You guys have a really good comeback and win the series. Fans here always think Empire have a little bit upper hand against Kinguin, but what happened in this game series that you guys are trying to win, like trying to put it out so hard?
Well, they kind of had a good draft in the second game. We had I guess, not a good draft at all. They had a control on the map because of Night Stalker, and we struggled to play this map really much. And in the third game, they had a dominant lane versus Beastmaster. Like Timber was a problem for us for some time, but we knew that their heroes is not that good later on, and we kind of managed to beat them after that.
第2场比赛的话，我觉得我们 BB 上没有做好，然后让他们选到一个特别好的阵容，然后夜魔这个点的话给了我们很多的麻烦。然后第3场比赛的话，我觉得我自己的话兽王对线打得还不错，然后伐木机一开始对我们的威胁还是挺大，但是他们这个阵容缺乏后劲，所以打到后期的话，我觉得我们还是比较好打的。
好，那第2个问题我们就是要展望一下今天最后一场比赛，他们将和 Manesky 来争夺最后一个4强的席位。那他会如何评价 Manesky 这个队伍？然后他们会怎么来争取战胜他们？
Next game, you're gonna fight Manesky. What's your opinion on the team Manesky, and how's your team gonna prepare for it?
Well, Manesky looks really strong. They almost beat Newbie, but didn't went well for them against Newbie. But we're gonna watch some replays and prepare for them like this. That's it.
我觉得 Manesky 现在看起来很强吧，因为他们差点就把Newbie打赢了。但是我们这边的话，暂时也没有什么特别多的战术。我想我还是回去看一下录像，然后再来根据录像来进行分析战术。
好的，希望他们最后一场比赛也能好运。那最后呢，我们也依然会请他在我们帝国的这个红包礼物卡外面签名，然后再问一下他觉得哪个画的是最像的，展示给大家，好吧
？Which one do you think is the best? Has the best like?
Is the best what?
Best drawing. Which one is the best?
Was this one? Okay.
From us 5 AM.
Not this.
Not this. This guy is gone now.
He's gone. Yeah, he's not here. This one is the best.
You can show the camera.
This one is the best, for sure.
他选了他自己啊。
Thank you.
我们帝国的小哥也是相当的自恋，反正他听不懂。好，来签个名啊。
Thank you.
Thank you。好，那么各位粉丝可以通过我们的微博互动来领取这份奖品。那也感谢我们帝国的3号位，希望他们后面的比赛继续加油。那接下来稍事休息之后啊，我们就迎来了这个败者组的 A 组的这样一个决赛 ，LGD 战队会登场对阵 COL。那让我们稍事休息之后马上回来。
To be the best character and also the best picture, the best player, perhaps. I don't know. Is he a modest guy? I don't think so.
Oh, he's just messing around.
Yeah.
He's supposed to choose which one he thinks looks the best.
Okay.
So
looks
clearly,
the best. So
clearly himself.
All right. Because he definitely was also the best this game. That's why he wins the MVP right here.
He was this game, but I think Ghostic is a little unpredictable in whether he's going to deliver like a really MVP performance, or I think was he playing the Omni Knight in one of the other games? I think he wasn't he? And
Omni Knight last game and the first game Bat Rider, who also looked very well.
Exactly. So he did brilliantly on the bat. He did well here as the Beast, but his Omni missed quite a few GAs. And it wasn't great. So I think if he can even out his performance, that'll make a big difference. Because when he plays well, apparently Team Empire win the game.
He's a very big factor in all of their wins. So.
Yeah. There were a couple of fights in this specific game where Empire just looked very crisp. We talked before the game what we wanted out of Empire, but we wanted out of Kinguin as well. Of course, we wanted them to be more crisp, to just, you know, shape up and actually go for it without too many mistakes, which we saw from them earlier. So I'm very happy that they did that, and that also makes me a bit more comfortable for their chances against Mineski later today, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, maybe. I think Mineski actually probably looked too good. I think they're just a better team in my opinion, and they've got more experience and more about them, I think, really. These two teams have looked fairly error prone, and as much as I like them, I do think that Mineski are probably going to be too strong.
Oh, okay.
But I've been wrong before, Sheaves, believe it or not, so could well be a great win for Empire coming up, but I do think Mineski is going to be a very tough one.
How do you estimate their chances, Louis?
I think it's going to be very tough against Mineski on the drafting department, because I feel like Mineski has a very wide hero pool.
Yeah.
I mean, just yesterday we saw things like Magnus, Mirana coming out, and even a Troll Warlord.
Yep.
And of course, they still could do the standard DP, Tide. So coming into the series, you have to have a lot of strategy prepared. Dero also have things like Brewmother, Timbersaw, randomly coming out. So it's going to be a tough one, I think.
In that best of 3 in just a bit. But before that, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more Dota 2. Stay tuned.
something, it's out of line. I say it again, another time. I spoke freely when I was 17. I said the kind of things that no one was letting me. I'll pick you up, I'll pick you out of a crowd. How does it sound? Am I as loud as you want it now? I'll make you come up to my cloud. Best believe I'm not coming down. No, I am not coming down. I'll make you come to my cloud, 'cause I am not coming down. I'd rather smoke something. I could probably blow a ring. I'm opening up as a singer. Nobody wants quality, they only want quantity. They keep ignoring me, it's boring me. I wanna be paid, I want double now, or I will not tell you how to get to my fucking cloud, 'cause I am not coming down. Up to my cloud, best believe I'm not coming down. No, I am not coming down. I'll make you come to my cloud, 'cause I am not coming down.
But I'll make sure let you see. Guys like that got a visa that he don't pay, and he won't remember your name. I don't wanna see you hold on to that. I don't wanna see you hold on, 'cause he's too smooth. Yeah, he's got a couple lines that he uses every night. Yeah, he's too smooth. Yeah, if you take him home tonight, he won't leave her satisfied. Come and dance with me. They got nicknames in their phones, and they won't be taking it slow. Guys like that is looking for a sure thing, and he'll move on if you delay. I don't wanna see you hold on to that. I don't wanna see you hold on, 'cause he's too slow. Dance with me.
walls and closing doors. Been here before, not again. We cannot hide our nasty scars. Too many sorries. What would happen now if you stay? You won't know if you walk away. Only heaven will play our song now before you go. Can you tell me where the hope has gone? Can you tell me where the love went wrong? Do you remember what it sounds like? We can turn the love back on. We can turn the love back on. We can turn the love back on. Power's out, the truth unfolds. Our naked souls, once again, can make us work with broken parts and silent heartbeats. What would happen now if you stay? You won't know if you walk away. Only heaven will play our song now before you go. Can you tell me where the hope has gone? Can you tell me where the love went wrong? Do you remember what it sounds like? We can turn the love back on. 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 We can turn the love
Feeling the breeze move through the trees. It's a beautiful night. You're all that I want, you're all that I need, and you light up my life. So far from the start.
1, 2, 3.
Welcome back to the Starladder I-League Invitational Season 4. We are ready for our last lower bracket match. There you go, lower bracket match of Group A for today. Don't worry, we have another series coming after that for Group B, but we're gonna see LGD versus Complexity. That's right, we're going back to the match that it all started with on Thursday. It was not really a happy ending for Complexity, but perhaps they can do better this time. I have with me OD Pixel, as well as Fogged. Gentlemen, welcome. It is our duty to tell the people at home what happened, why these teams are here, and what's going to happen, or what do we think is going to happen in this next series to see who is going to play against Newbie. Tomorrow, because that's what's going to happen. The winner of this will face newbie in the semifinals, and they will get some points. They'll get some money. It's all great.
We might have a similar repeat of Thursday. I feel like, right?
Well, I hope not for Complexity.
I hope not for Complexity. They seem confident. We were walking by them, and Kyle's like, we got a strat, but they always feel like that.
Seem
Kyle's always very confident.
Very, very confident guys. I've never seen Complexity at LAN where they're like, we're going to lose. Never. I mean, Kyle especially, as you said, this man is one of the most confident guys in Dota 2. So he is going to be going into this matchup as strong as he would have been going into it the other day when they had this tip to go up against LGD. The fact that they lost then, that's not going to have knocked them off course at all. You can expect Complexity to come in with all guns blazing.
Damn.
There's a lot of Swindles fans.
There we go. No. We have, sorry, that Chinese had Ferrari on the panel.
Oh, hi.
That's Ferrari, right?
Yep.
He has just a bit of longer hair, so like you see him over there, that's him. And that is, of course, a star player. And apparently now also a star analyst, so the crowd went a little bit crazy for that. They might also be slightly biased for LGD. Little heads up, they don't take care of
No, Swindles, as I said, 80% of his fan base is Chinese.
That's a lie.
You know, all 8 of them. You know, the 2 in NA.
I don't think that's the case. No, especially not after the beatdown we saw on Thursday. Yeah. LGD has been on a pretty big win streak. Yeah. They won like 7 out of 8 of the last matches they played, or 8 out of 9 actually, because then they played Liquid and they hit that brick wall. But they were looking really strong. People are having a lot of confidence in this lineup with FY back on that support role.
We can take a look at the brackets and see exactly how these 2 teams came to be here in the lower bracket finals. As already mentioned, it was Team Liquid that made it through to the playoffs already. They were able to beat LGD. They 2-0'd Infamous, 2-0'd LGD. They made it look easy. You know, it's Team Liquid as the TI champions. Nothing much to say about that other than, you know, good job making it through there.
Could we have a full 2-0 bracket on Group A?
Group A would be a unique case if that's... Yeah, we could.
I mean, we could, right? LGD could potentially 2-0, and then Liquid have shown that they
Are you saying that Complexity couldn't potentially 2-0, Fog?
No, you know, my heart wants them to, but my brain and...
Oh, the NA bias.
I gotta say, though, that first game that Complexity played against LGD on Thursday, that one was an absolute stomp, not gonna sugarcoat it, but we also agreed that that was Complexity making a lot of mistakes, and a lot of tiny mistakes that were very uncharacteristic for Complexity. So I kind of feel like, you know, they come off these wins this morning against Infamous. We're gonna see a different Complexity than we saw last Thursday.
They did make a good amount of mistakes versus Infamous too, though. Especially in that second game, there were a bit of some blunders,
It was closer than it could have been.
Yeah. So I think they have to play like really precise Dota versus LGD.
But they can. We've seen them do it, Owen.
They can, but I'm not going to agree with it. I'm a little worried for Complexity in this series because I think LGD. Well, they lost 2 games to Liquid. Oh wow, you know, the LGD worst team in the world. Absolutely not. You know, it's Liquid, as you say. These guys pretty damn good. So I think I'm worried for Complexity, but I hope they do something crazy. I hope they do something different.
Yeah,
agreed.
You know, it's something, as you say, they've already had 2 games where they've had 2 chances to try out strats against LGD. They've already found 2 ways to lose, so let's hope they don't find 4 ways to lose by the end of the season against LGD. You know, they have some experience against these teams.
I like how you said that. I think they do need to change it up. I think they need to just catch LGD a bit off guard. Because I think if they just take the natural approach, LGD is overall a better team, more consistent team. They have much better teamwork.
Yeah.
So I think Cole has to pretty much like get their ball rolling that early moment. Like we've said before, when they get that group up going at like the 5 to 10 minute mark, they take a bunch of towers, and then they have an advantage. That's when they play the best.
Yeah, but that's also exactly when went wrong against LGD on Thursday because
but they did split up.
But they did group up at some point. I guess it was not as much of a group up as it could have been, but they did group up and it just fell apart because it seemed like LGD was expecting them to play that way. So if you wanted them to change it up.
Change up the heroes.
Change
up the heroes.
Oh, right.
Not the so much of playstyle. Because the strategy, we've seen Cole, we've seen Kyle and Z Freak.